5 Venoms versus Wu-Tang, aka Vampire Kid 2, 1988, Taiwan. And I think
now you're talking.
Yes, I think maybe we should start this off by saying Deo, Deo.
Oh, ding ling 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 ding ling ling.
Yes, so if you've been jonesing for a cover version of the Harry Belafonte classic by some Taoist priests and hopping vampires, 5 Venoms versus Wu-Tang is the film. This is the title we watched. This is when Wu-Tang put it out, right? The Zen and Wu-Tang. I can't remember if this. I think it was on a double. Actually, there was a DVD. It was this, and it was Shaolin Daredevils under the title Venom Warriors. I remember that.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't know if you had it. Some of them used to have little.
I didn't have it. I never had this. This is the first time I've seen this.
Ah, okay. Because they used to have little intro. Some of them had intros, didn't they? Like members of Wu-Tang Clan or something would do like a intro.
Yeah.
But I can't remember if this one had or not. Anyway, so we're in familiar territory. Apart from the day of it, it's some corpse herders, who actually get their corpses hijacked at some point. We're not quite sure why, because our main bad hopping vampire is invisible until it is pissed on. So of course it's a film out of Taiwan, so there's a number of pissing gags. Don't you worry your pretty little head about that. You got so I think it's Ricky Cheng, isn't it? Ricky Cheng of Weird Man fame. That's the Taoist that gets killed, right? And just before he gets killed, he spits out some blood that turns into an animated red bird. That goes and then that flies off, and then Chang Sheng is another Taoist herder, and him and his sidekick, and he's in trouble, and they go there and then they discover all of that. And there's also, I'm not quite sure how this all links up, to be honest with you, but there's maybe you'll help me out. There's a hopping vampire family. We got it again. This has become a trope.
Well, hang on.
Yeah.
So there's the way I understood this is slightly different to how you understood it.
Okay.
And maybe we're all wrong.
Right.
But or maybe I'm wrong. But there's basically 2 gangs of Taoist priests.
Yes.
Right? So
yes.
there's the Taoists and the Mao Shan people.
There might even be 3, right? Because Lu Feng, I don't know who Lu Feng, because Lu Feng's in
No, Lu Feng's the Mao Shan people. So there's the grey Taoists and there's the yellow Taoists.
So Lu Feng's on the same side as Ricky Cheng's character was, because Ricky Cheng doesn't laugh. Right, okay.
No. So Ricky Cheng's Ricky Cheng's gets dispatched by vamps.
Yeah.
And then sends his little blood bird bat, fucking whatever the fuck that is. And then Chang Sheng gets it. And then there are a few little rivalry things. And then Lu Feng and his apprentice.
That's right. Yes. I was getting
so Lu Feng,
mixed up.
No. Then Lu Feng and his apprentice go to this like tomb.
Yes, that's right. The yin yang bell and
there's a big yin yang bell, and there's a pregnant female vampire.
Yeah,
in
this
the
is
tomb.
very yes.
And then she gives birth to a little Cape vampire, which is where we get all the little Vampire 2, the Mr. Vampire 2 bollocks from. Who prominently displays his knob quite early on.
Yes.
To warn him.
Yep.
And then is immediately clothed. I don't know why he couldn't just have not shown his knob.
Yep.
And then have been clothed, but anyway. And then there's a lot of vampire shenanigans.
Then the yellow Taoist priests, right? This is the point where he says, if I can control this child, I can make it a king zombie and control all.
No, that's the grey ones. That's Lu Feng's.
That's the grey ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's So Lu Feng is kind of turns out to be the bad guy in a way in this film, doesn't he? Because he's the
Well, he's yeah. You don't get that until about halfway through.
No, but he's
kind of
he's pursuing the little vampire kid, who of course befriends some other children. Who, interestingly, their recently widowed mother is played by Cynthia Khan, right? Before
it's like a third role.
So she was in that weird film Ginseng King, Three-Head Monster. Before this, and then this. I think this comes out just before she's in the Line of Duty 3 and becomes a star, right? So it's kind of interesting.
But she's hardly in it. It's hardly.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because it's not even. It doesn't work. It's not a cameo because she's not famous yet, right? So she's just
right.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so her kids befriend and then the sidekick of Chang Sheng, not so much Chang Sheng himself, teams up with them to protect the little vampire kid. Which involves collecting duck and dog shit. Huh?
Lots of shit.
Adam's Family, yes. Oh,
it's just slightly changed.
Yeah. There's also, I think there might have been a little bit of the Dawn of the Dead soundtrack, but like drowned out by something else over the top of it.
You might be right. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of collecting of excretion is more even than normal. Is this the one? Does the kid like punching a duck? A kid punching a duck in the ass, trying to make it shit at one point.
So I think front and center as well. Before we get into this, what we need to understand is this is the same man that made Hello Dracula 2.
Yes, and also another thing we'll get to either in this lot or the next lot. Chivalric Tornado, aka Chess Boxing Matrix, which I don't know because this is Vampire Kid 2. I couldn't find out what Vampire Kid 1 was. I'm wondering if that might be Vampire Kid 1.
No, I found a listing for it, but it's nowhere. Yeah.
Right.
But interestingly, the director of this is also assistant director on Fight Among the Supers, Hello Dracula original, and he's in the mix with Super Ninjas as well, which probably explains the Venom's presence on this.
Yes. And also, it's from Joseph Kuo's Honghua as well, right? So you got
absolutely,
yeah. And
that makes because by the end of this film, it's getting very like a deja vu of deja vu when we've got a vampire who looks a lot like fake Beardy, so it's fake Beardy.
The master from Hello Dracula,
and we've got like that whole last section, it might as well be a Hello Dracula.
Yeah, that's why it's fascinating. I'm so glad we did this project, because I think that's the one benefit. On the one hand, it all kind of melds together, but it is fascinating to see how this stuff mutated in real time, isn't it? And how they started copying each other. And I would say as well, you can take the floor after this and say whatever you like. I was just going to say, overall, it's kind of not bad. There's enough magic and action and stuff. It's not a stellar example of this, but it's better than some others we watch. But it is worth mentioning the one thing that's kind of unique to this, and I'm wondering if it'll pop up again when things start copying and is the stop motion puppetry.
We haven't
seen that yet, and because the vampire kid seems to be telekinetic or something, and he controls this little wooden doll thing, and it's quite a nice little bit of stop motion. And then later on there's a bigger version, and I thought they were going to do that with that, but they didn't, right? But it was fun. I don't think we've had that sort of stop motion yet.
No, well, just to correct you, Lu Feng controls the puppet, which he uses to like distract the kid, doesn't he?
Oh, is it? I thought the little kid was.
No. No, that's a golden child, Clive.
Oh, right. Yes, that's right. Easy to mistake the two.
Yeah, I mean, I had a blast with this. I thought this was fucking. It was like an extra Hello Dracula film.
It's interesting. I can't say I had a blast with it, but it was it's okay, but with I don't know, maybe I'm getting slight Kyonshi fatigue or something.
I might be with you. But this started to feel like a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy. It was getting a bit indistinct, and but that said, I've never seen a child punch a duck in the ass or a child worry about how to get urine out of a turtle before.
You haven't lived till you've seen that sort of shit.
I mean, what's in its favor is all the kung fu's good, all the wire work's really good, the stunts are good. There's quite a few very rough kind of hitting pillars, hitting furniture kind of stunts, which is very good. There's enough kind of magic laser beam shenanigans, which I enjoy. And again, I'm showing my bias here because Chang Sheng's a fucking Taoist priest. Right. Chang Sheng is playing Lam Cheng Ying, and Lu Feng, the other Venom in the film, if you don't count Ricky Chen, is the baddie. So there's actually a reason for a change for calling this film 5 Venoms versus Wu-Tang.
No, it's I would imagine it's I hadn't thought of it in that way because I'm down for watching all this shit anyway. But yes, I suppose if you were a slightly more selective viewer and you love the Venoms, this might not be on your radar as a Venoms adjacent film, right? So you'd probably get a kick out of seeing Lu Feng and Chang Sheng, and less so Ricky Cheng. I know Nick's not a big Ricky Cheng. Nick had enough of Ricky Cheng flying through the air in the weird man, I seem to remember.
Well, it's because the first fucking iteration of Ricky Cheng we showed Nick was him all greased up in a nappy. It's our own fault.
Yes.
It's our own. We did that to you.
This also adds something to the lore that we haven't seen before. But at the very end of the film, there's the usual sad parting. Although this is one of the few ones where the baby vampire isn't set on fire or
we get to that.
Usually set on fire. Yeah, we will very shortly. But yeah, so he actually gets to have a sad parting with the kids where he doesn't die. Goes off with his mom, and somebody says, "When you grow up, be sure to be a good zombie." And I thought, well, do dead babies grow up? Like, do they get bigger? What's the life cycle of a? Because normally, my understanding is if you're a zombie baby or you're a vampire baby, you're stuck. I mean, that's the.
Well, he's going to be like a zombie king, isn't he? Because that's the language that Lu Feng uses earlier on.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I can make him into a zombie king.
But would he get bigger then? Would he grow up into a?
I think he's meant to.
Love. I'm so great. Do zombies fall in love? There you go.
Anyway,
do what?
The question I was left with. But this is the only one of the films that I watched at this point of watching these large movies that had subtitles, which definitely helped because it gets harder to parse these films, I think, without subtitles.
Yeah.
And it'd be hard to parse even with subtitles, to be honest.
Vampire versus Sorcerer 2.
Here we go.
Yes, so we should
Mr. Combe-Over is here.
Yes, we were watching a version from YouTube, which was in pretty bad shape, which seems to be sourced from a Thai VCD dubbed into Thai with no subtitles. So we don't really know what's going on. Plus, we haven't seen Vampire versus Sorcerer 1.
No.
But it seems maybe they are a direct-to-video double bill is my guess.
Yeah, this had video series or TV series vibes to me.
Right.
Yes.
And also, I'm not entirely sure where it's from. If it's Hong
Kong,
Taiwan.
Oh, sorry. So the version we watched is dubbed into Thai.
Yeah, but it's not Thai.
Yeah.
It's not from.
But I don't know if it's Thai or Hong Kong. If I had to guess, I would say Taiwan, but I don't know that. Directed.
Who directed it?
Bruce Lung.
It is. So
yeah.
on that's on Letterboxd. It says Bruce Leung, and then on IMDb it says you too Cam.
No, I don't know about that.
No,
But it still has Bruce as the star, but it has a different director named. Anyway,
it could be. Yeah.
This starts off with a rock theme tune as well. It's got a rock opening, which I think, my guess is that probably highlights from what happened in the first part.
Oh, it could be. Yeah.
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 So Bruce, does he normally look like Penfold out of
Actually, no. That's
okay.
That's bang on. Yeah, I was wondering who he looked like. Yes. He should have emerged from underneath a post office box in a little car with a mouse.
Oh shit. Oh fucking hell.
Because all the way through my notes, I just referred to him as Penfold.
Now we need to go back, and a parallel universe. There's a part where Bruce Leung starred in Penfold the movie, right?
Yeah, that's fucking brilliant. Yeah. We need to advise Rodney of this development immediately. Rodney, I know it's not food, but if you are listening, please accept this message that Bruce Leung in the 80s is in fact Penfold. Thank you.
We still don't know the identity of Danger Mouse, so that's yet to be discovered.
Probably Roy Horan, because he's quite white.
There we go.
I don't even know if that was racist or not. If it was, I apologise.
Roy Horan and Bruce Leung in Danger Mouse, the movie.
Yeah.
Done. You got AI now, right? We can actually make that happen.
Prompt that.
All these film ideas we've had.
Yes.
Now actually create just with prompt. A brave new world. It's scary.
Yeah. So anyway, back to the film.
Yes.
So just summarising, just sort of doing it a little bit arse about face, but summarising my views about this film. Yes, indeed. Bruce Leung is going a little bit bald in this. Because it's 88. He's been around since the early 70s, late 60s.
It's not just bald, though. He's a bit puffy looking, isn't he?
Yeah. He's puffy and he's got a comb over.
Yeah. And the glasses.
He's not far off Kung Fu Hustle, even though that's probably
he's working for a mouse detective.
Well, that's it. Yeah. Well, it's gonna wear you down, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the only thing I could really find to distinguish this from anything else we've seen was two things.
Yeah.
Number one, gore. It's a gory fucking film.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's gory and more violent than you might expect. Like, it's a shame there wasn't more of it, really. But when the kills came, I was like, oh, wow, that was
the ripping people apart.
Guts being like, goes properly zombie flesh.
No, that was definitely a highlight. You're right. Yeah.
The other thing I really liked was they've got the Salem's Lot eyes.
Yes.
So they've got the glowing yellow eyes with vampires. Frankly, aside from that, there's not a lot going on apart from a bit of metal and a bit of gore for me.
I think the other thing that's worth, but again, like the gore and it's there's not enough of it because a lot of it is talkiness and goofy comedy and plus we don't understand it, so it's a bit unfair.
It begs the question of whether it would be more or less annoying if I did understand, because the dub job is the most outrageous thing I've ever heard. But then it does kind of match. Everyone's got a Muppety Kermit the Frog, like duck voice thing going on. Yeah. But then the actors they cast too. Like there's like the tall, skinny, Ron Mail guy with the mustache, and then everyone else is cross-eyed or has a red nose or.
Yeah, well, what I was going to say, so our main hero, Hung Sun Nam, is one of the people of the 4 people credited with doing the choreography. And the thing is, we don't see enough of it, but you can tell that it's done by people who know what they're doing. And if you check those 4 people and Hung Sun Nam, they're not necessarily recognizable names or often headline or anything, but they've all got extensive action choreography credits. So, so you can tell. So that part is, and of course Bruce Lang is. So that part's solid, but there's just not enough of it. So it's like, okay, Goofy got me. Oh fuck, that's a nice bit of action. Oh fucking hell, he just snapped that guy. Oh, go, and then back to you know.
That's exactly.
And you've got, of course, you do, at least you do have the kings of the of cross-sites in them. You do have both.
Yes.
Wan and To Siu Ming.
Yeah.
Also, Wong Lik is in it as well. Another Venom. He was in Weird Man, for example.
Yeah.
And yes, and very kind of grim ending in which a small child is given a fiery end, right? I mean, I assume
just up in smoke.
Yeah, I assume they at least they're putting the charm
on the sleepy thing on his head,
puts him to sleep, so he doesn't actually burn alive. But still, it's a kind of dour ending. Especially, I would imagine if you've sat through both parts, which is like 3 hours or something. No, I'm not impressed. Me actually, in a way, that was like, oh, that's impressively grim way to go out.
Yeah, the other thing I liked about this is it's the only, from memory, or maybe there's one other, but from memory, it's the only other film I remember seeing a Chinese vampire get staked through the head.
Oh yes,
yeah. Also, quickly,
but this time they do it twice.
Before we get kicked off, they rip off Kwai-Dan.
Yes.
For years.
Well,
but they really go for it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But Encounter the Spooky Kind, maybe what they were thinking of. But Kwai-Dan.
But they're both copying Kwai-Dan. Yeah. And it's gory, right? They really go for it.
Bang. Yeah.
The Devil and the Ghostbuster. 88. Hong Kong, directed by Ho Lin Chow, written by Set Teong. Another without subs, alas. Although I feel as if I've seen, I have seen this before, but I feel I have seen this with English subs at some point. But we couldn't. Oh, I watched it. I watched the Japanese one with Japanese subtitles, and maybe the missus helped me out with a but I mean, familiar territory once again. Taoist corpse herders, there's some grave robbers, there's a man posing as a Kyonshi, there's a family, again there's a vampire family, right? And I suppose there's a ghost. Yes.
It's almost more of a ghost movie than it is a.
Yeah, there's a lot of ghosts in this. Yeah.
Sorry, there is no vampire family. What the fuck am I talking about? There's a ghost, and it's a sexy ghost. So there's some sexy bits, pre-cut 3 sexy bits.
Yep.
So Wai Pak, who was a Snake in 5 Deadly Venoms. His last film, I think this one. Yeah, good. And
that's his cock.
Right. We have photographic evidence to back it up. And the female ghost is Cheng Yem Man. We got Ku Feng as apparently a gang boss, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's good.
The bad guy, the main bad guy with lots of hair, who whips some topless women on a cross, is played by Hon Yi Sang. Yue Wan, yay, is in it again as a corpse herder. And there's some other people in it as well. I don't know. I mean, again, these are starting to blur. I mean, obviously, this is slightly distinctive because of tits in it. And
there's Muff in there too.
Tits and Muff, Pickle and Beaver. No, there's no Pickle. But
the guy with the Dragon Ball Z fucking hair, he definitely was something we don't think we've really seen before.
But the other thing I liked about it, not that there's that much to like, was there's a ghost brothel.
Yes,
well, as I understood it. So what differentiates it for me is it's essentially kind of Chinese ghost story, kind of trapped ghost, encounter. I mean because the bath scene, so where Wei Pai or Wei Pak kind of stumbles into the haunted residence that she lives in, is almost identical to Joey Wong in Chinese Ghost Story, except she's got her tits out and she's in the bath, right? But the backstory, and we did look at this without subs, but the backstory seems to be is not only is she shackled to being undead, she's also somehow shackled to being a prostitute in an undead ghost brothel.
Yeah.
That's run by Afro demon.
Yes. I was there's a little, because the thing is, erotic ghost story hadn't been released yet, but going by what's, and I don't know if this is actually true, but I've heard that erotic ghost story might have been made years before it had been released. Some people seem to think that's good. So I'm wondering if this is something that got wind of that production, incorporated a bit of the ideas, but then ended up coming out before it, or I don't know if that might be a bit too tenuous a link. But I had slight erotic ghost story vibes because Hon Yi-sang's character as well. There's something it's something Elvis Choi would be doing.
He's a ghost, so he's a ghost pimp then, who can spit his little vampire teeth out of his head, and they bite the rat-faced dude who looks like Ross out of Friends or whatever on the nose.
I suppose the one thing that it was a bit of, even though it's not that great, even though it's got some moments of it. I suppose the one thing that is a breath of fresh air at this point is it's not Hello Dracula, Mr. Vampire 2 kid friendly. They decided to do away with that. Well, we've done enough of that now. We're going to bring some tits in and make it for adults. And I was certainly pleased about that. Because
I'm going deep into the. Hang on, I need to be careful if I say this. I'm going deep into the children's vampire genre.
I could edit this.
I was gonna say the kiddie vamp love, but that sounds a little bit too. But no, I mean, it's nice to mix it up.
Yeah.
But I suppose we have to remember we shouldn't judge films because we've seen.
No. But it's just a nice because we got a hell of a lot more Vampire Kids things coming up either this or next year. We're not done by a long.
No.
There is a scene where the kind of our kung fu sifu guy, priest guy, strips to right near the end where he's fighting Afro dude, and he grabs a mirror and somehow reflects moonlight into the mirror and then into his body, which he fires a Gatling gun and like laser beams out of his chest.
That was cool. Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
The ending's quite good. There's a lot of flying about and magics and lasers and shit in that.
Yeah.
And when you get it, the action and stuff's pretty good as well. So worth mentioning that the assistant director on this film is Lin Chan-wai of Superpower and Kung Fu Execution, etc. fame. So again, it's a when that stuff does appear, it's well done, but it's just, I don't know. I wonder if this is one I might enjoy more if I knew what was going on. I think this one would, like some of the ones without subs, I'm not sure if it would affect my overall enjoyment. I think I might enjoy this one a bit more if I knew what was going on. But then again, I saw
I
it.
don't know.
And,
I mean, what aren't you getting?
Well, that's the thing. I was looking back on my.
Aren't you understanding?
Yeah, and it seemed back in the day when I saw it the first time, I wasn't massively impressed by it either. So, but it's a little bit. Obviously, it's frustrating too. But yeah, no, you're quite right. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's all right. It's fine. It's good. There's not quite enough tits to be sexy. And I think there's it just kind of pops its head just above the parapet of acceptable level of madness, laser beams, and kung fu.
Yeah. And I do like
to be entertaining. Yeah.
Is this the first one we've seen of these in this series so far that has actually taken the Mr. Vampire template into erotic territory? It might just be.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. But it's only really tangentially Mr. Vampire, isn't it?
Yeah, no. But still, that's a thing that I hope we'll get more. I hope that reoccurs.
No, I'm into that. But again, the same as we were discussing on the other show. Actually, it's kind of less vampire and more ghost, really, isn't it? It's kind of a ghost story rather than a vampire story, because although there's that cool bit where I forget the name of the Taoist priest raises up vampires to defend him at the end, isn't he? That's pretty cool. That's kind of the only real instance of hopping vampires Jyangshi in the film. It's not. It's kind of more riffing on Chinese ghost story rather than Mr. Vampire, isn't it?
He's a little bit rock and roll. She's a little bit country and western. Hilarity ensues. Spirit versus Zombie, 1988. Directed by Yu Chie-wei. Taiwanese film. Subway construction in Taipei. I'm actually reading what I've written here. It's easier. Subway construction in Taipei unearths an old coffin and resurrects a hopping vampire father and son. The two get split up by different factories hunting them down. Factions even, not factories. Factions hunting them down. That would be interesting. Factories running down the street. And the little boy befriends an orphan girl who sells gum on the streets with a crippled street performer. The dad ends up befriending a put-upon junkie woman who works at a dodgy massage parlor. There are several out-of-place elements, what seems to be ostensibly a kids' film. A scientist using high-tech equipment to track the vampires has henchmen clad in cool, bright red protective gear and helmets, but they turn out to be product placement for a local laser tag arcade called Don. Brackets, wonder if it's still there. And also, I think maybe this film, obviously we've been talking Mr. Vampire, Hello Dracula, etc. But I got the slight vibe that this film might also have been somewhat inspired by a film series we haven't talked about because there's no hopping vampires in, the Happy Ghost series.
Okay. I haven't seen too many of them. Yeah,
it's got a little bit of that Happy Ghost vibe.
Okay. In what way?
I think, I know we've seen this in some of the other hopping vampires things as well, but the kind of fish out of water in modern day stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Seems very Happy Ghosty to me. I think that's in the mix. We didn't consider it because it didn't come out because there's no hopping vampires in it. But obviously, all these, they've been taking influences from all sorts of things, right? And yes, I suspect a smidge of Happy Ghost in here.
Yeah, I think. I mean, for me, this is a nice little oasis in the formula that we've been watching quite a lot of for, well, cinematically the last 2 or 3 years, which is little kid vampire gets befriended. There's a monstrous vampire out there, and the little kid helps defeat it. Because I quite like the fact that in this film, the vampires are the good guys.
Right.
And they're just like wandering around, having a little look at modern day stuff.
Also, there's definitely been not enough laser quest in.
Well, yeah, but I like that. Because I was confused. I was confused by this film because I initially thought that so it's largely kind of not enough fleshed out junky prostitute characters and Taoist characters, because there's not a lot of Taoists in this. No. And the Taoists that are in it, you don't really realize the Taoists until they start channeling shit at the end. For me, anyway.
Yeah, and and then it gets confusing because there's some the Seed imitation stuff in there as well.
Yeah, but yeah, I kind of quite liked its quirkiness in that it's kind of fish out of water shit with father and son wandering around. Little bit of kind of, it's a bit odd to have, because it's largely a child-centric film. You'd imagine this is more or less marketed to children, and you don't really expect to see pimps and junkies
and someone getting their head ripped off as well.
Just grabs his leg off.
And a pretty, downer ending as well.
Well, but we've climatized to that now.
Yes,
I suppose so. Yeah, I tell you what, I appreciated more than anything else. It's not a good film by any means. It's kind of crappy, but I like seeing at least that it's mostly on location in Taipei. But then when they do like that levitating thing, it's not in a studio. It's like, oh wow, someone
that's in the street,
crane pulling this man up. And you're wondering,
and again,
people on the streets of Taipei must be fucking hell.
And as usual, in Taiwan, it's quite well done.
Absolutely, yeah,
that's pretty well done. But what particularly confused me was there's, without, well, I don't see any reason not to spoil it. But there's it's kind of fairly kind of fish out of water, Mr. Vampire 2 kid vamp shit, and some soppy crippled clown street entertainer stuff. But then there's a moment sort of, probably 2/3 in where all of a sudden it becomes science fiction. So they grab the vampire, it's modern day, right? So it's like late 80s Taipei, right? And then all of a sudden you're in some sort of futuristic lab, and all I took them as police officers, like an army strike force or like a SWAT team or something. And all of a sudden you've got these like fucking super soldiers with fucking laser guns.
Well, what's confusing though is that at first, when we first see them, they're machine guns, but then they magically turn into laser tag. That whole transition is maybe one of the most awkward fucking shoehorned in bits of product placement I've ever seen. Having said that, if I was in Taipei and I went to a theatre to watch Plants vs. Zombie, if we three had gone out of an evening, we would have run to Fort Don after. Even though laser tag is always disappointing and never as much fun as you think it's going to be, right?
Yes.
I have never played laser tag. I've never gone to laser tag.
You never went to the laser quest in Swansea?
No, I didn't. Wow. I didn't. No. I think my mother thought it was too expensive, so I went to the cinema instead next door.
Oh yeah, because it was it was next to the UCI, wasn't it? Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. But yeah, no. So I got really confused by this because at first, when they kind of end up in the lab or in the futuristic bit, I thought that was like an arcade, like the Trocadero used to be in London.
seems confusing. I also agree that that's like what's happening there, because it does seem at one point like, oh, is this like a cheapo Doctor Who looking set inside this high-tech lab that this, because part of this, the part of the story is this this rivalry between the scientific method and the supernatural method, right? You've got your Taoist priests and your exorcists. You've even got the guy in the Catholic guy who's there, right? At that meeting of the minds about what are we going to do about these vampires. And then, you've got the guy in the white coat with the pipe who wonders who the real vampires are. And he seems to lead that attack squad of the guys in the laser tag helmets. Like, they're his squad, right? But I couldn't forget because then when the kid shows up at the arcade, which is clearly an arcade, and then they're sort of there too.
Yeah, it's almost as if they decided, oh, we'll use that, but then they were afraid, oh, fuck, we better not obfuscate it too much, because no one can come to photon. So the guys, the police guys' helmets, it even
I know
photon on them.
Yeah,
and I'm assuming, unless this was a new business, I'm guessing locals would. That's the bit that fascinates me: is would people have going to see this film? Would they have already known photon? Or
that's a really good point. Yeah,
because they would have laughed, they would have howled with laughter as soon as they'd seen it, right? Or was it a new business, like trying to, like, at the end, did a thing come up saying 5 minutes from this theater?
It must have done. What if photon was really shit?
I doubt it was.
Oh, I'm sure it was. But what if photon was really shit and was a pre-existing business down the road in Taipei from any
that's
theater?
What it might be. I think that's what it might be.
So what was the audience reaction? Of the people who have been to photon? I go, that's not photon. That's cool.
This is the thing, right? Some people say, if they had a time machine, they'd do something worthwhile. They'd go back and visit the dinosaurs. They'd go back and they'd want to see the Gettysburg Address. No. I'd go back and I'd go and see It versus Zombie and see what the audience...
The opening night.
Yeah, and see what they reacted.
So then it goes another level. Yeah, and I'm kind of bigging this up a little bit too much because it's not really good. This one is not really good.
No.
But it's got some elements in it that are amusing, or that amused me anyway. Is then we get these really badly fleshed out, like, junior Taoists, is all I can say, who you don't even realize are Taoists, by the time you get there. All of a sudden, the dad vampire gets captured by technology, doesn't he? He gets captured and gets put in like a chamber, like a scientific,
and he's
like
given
a
an injection.
chamber.
He's given an injection, something that causes him to speak in English.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
No, that's right.
Yeah. So they make him talk, and he can walk normal as well.
Well, he could do that earlier. Do you remember? Because he's trying to train his son, right? He says,
"Oh, that's right.
Walk." Which actually, that was quite an interesting thing as well. I didn't realize KYONSHIS could actually just walk if he wanted to.
Yeah. Well, and there's more coming up in one of the next films as well. Yeah. More of this coming up. Yeah. But but I was actually talking about like the end of the film.
Right.
Where the dad gets captured by laser tag. And he gets put in like this stasis chamber or something,
This
sci-fi.
All sounds so much more interesting.
I know. And is then transported somehow to a cave.
Yep.
Where there's an evil Taoist that we've never met before. Has never appeared in the film before. And then it goes into magic battle. Between the two Taoists we hardly noticed from before. And
this random Steve Buscemi looking street tough who's been kind of in the film so far, who suddenly becomes the avatar who takes on these personas.
That's it, yeah.
The Monkey King, and you're like, he suddenly becomes a very important character, having been only very marginally in the film.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And let's not forget the ancient Chinese god Rambo.
Rambo, yes.
Who is also channeled.
Again, this sounds a lot of fun, more fun than the film I actually watched.
Well, I had fun with it. I mean, I wasn't bored.
Yeah, but but in a very desperate way.
But it's not. Yeah, it's not good. No.
I wonder if Ku Feng got paid for his cameo in photon tickets. Maybe he was a laser tag.
Yeah, because I saw Kufeng's name on the cast list. I thought, oh, excellent.
Yes.
Maybe we'll get another, Taoist priest Kufeng. No.
He's
he's in it for about 2 minutes of runtime, isn't it?
He was. I'm guessing again. It was, they looked out the window. Kufeng, oh, cool, come up here, and just put this bow tie on and talk some gibberish for 30 seconds, and so
give me money.
Yeah, or laser tag. I want to go to that new photon place. I've heard it's really
I have to say, I really liked, there's a line in this when there's the usual malarkey with yellow papers and then, this one gets torn in half and one guy screams,
I like that.
Scotch tape.
Yeah.
That's a great line.
That was a good gag. That was a good gag. Yeah.
This was released on Japanese VHS as KYONSHIS Quest, and then
like Laser Quest?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. And then
there we go.
Thunder Kids 3, Hunt for Devil Boxer, was KYONSHIS Quest 2.
Okay.
So it was a mini new series on Japanese VHS.
So here's a question: Is that cover that's on IMDb? Is that the original Taiwanese poster, the one that has the Ghostbusters logo superimposed over a little vamp?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Because obviously there is a bit of a nod there with the futuristic laser gun ghost hunting supernatural thing, right? A mild,
There's something good in a theater. Afterwards, where you're gonna go? Photon!
Dun, dun, dun.
School for Vampires, aka Vampire Training Camp.
Yes, or aka Meatball Vampire Academy 2 Hoppers in Training.
Yes.
No, it's Hoppers in Moscow.
Okay.
I disagree with both of you. It's Assignment Miami Beach.
Okay.
Yeah, no, there's a little bit of Police Academy in here, isn't there? Just a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's Taiwan. Chang Chen-chia, who is the guy who directed Shaolin Temple Against Lama.
Yeah. Also, Alexander Lowray is kicking about in that as well, isn't he?
Yes. Well, so it's him and Lucifer Lee, right? Lee Hai-shang.
Yeah.
The choreography for this one, and they're both.
Yeah.
Although you don't really notice Alexander Lowray, apparently.
Could not find Alexander Lowray in this.
No.
He's one of the vamps, apparently.
He's one of the vampires.
See him. Yeah.
Usually has a more prominent role.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one it's another one of these. Taoist has a whole bunch of hopping vampires to look after films.
Couldn't help but notice a sort of fake Rampa, fake Chen. This one to me, like the setup of where that, like their little thing, it's very Hello Vampire in that way, right?
Hello Dracula.
Oh, Hello Dracula, yeah.
We could spin off our own series, Hello Vampire. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, no, there's a definite.
Well, we haven't named the series yet.
No, there we go.
That's true.
We could call it Hello Jyangshi, Hello Vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Writing all this down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a fake.
Hello, hang on. Hello, Mr. Jyangshi. How's that?
There you go.
There's a fake
That's it.
And Jack Long is in charge of these hoppers, but I suppose William Yen is the ostensible kind of star.
Uncle Sleepy.
Yeah. Also interesting to note that these vampires get in line to Old Lang Syne, right?
Yes. When you graduate, when you mark an important moment of your life.
Yes.
As you know, Clive, you live in Japan. When you leave a department store, that's how you go out the door.
Yeah. All department stores at the end of the day when they close, they play Old Lang Syne.
Do they?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And not just that, but the staff will often, like if it's a good department store, the staff will line up and bow to you as you leave.
Yeah. So every time you
no, hang on.
when I first arrived, I thought it's New Year's Eve, basically.
So is that a closing time?
Yes.
Or is that when any customer leaves?
No.
Closing time.
Oh yeah, I thought that would
at
be
9 o'clock or whatever, or 10 o'clock, whenever the show closes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's weird.
It is. But it made me quite nostalgic when it showed up in this film at graduation. I was like, yes, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, and then confusingly there's a band of corpse destroyers, they call them in the subtitles, right? And they seem to be, are they either possessed by animal spirits or pretending to be different animal spirits, right? Because they've got all the makeup on and everything, and they seem to be doing different styles, but they don't come out and say.
Yeah, well, I think they're just just servants, aren't they? They're like servitors of
the rival Taoists.
Yeah, of the rival Taoists. So they're just the way I interpret that, they're either like demons that he's summoned up to do his bidding, or like people that he's like possessed.
Yeah. So there's like a squirrely little rival Taoist thing, but then Lucifer Lee enters. He's like the big bad.
Because he goes to him. He's like, they're bullying me, because he's some shit for them. But so he scampers off to us. I did notice in that early fight, if you had like a Jyangshi bingo card, there is a Jyangshi doing the robot.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
But there's one doing the worm, which I think was new. I don't think I've seen one doing the worm.
No, I haven't seen one doing the worm.
We've yet to see one doing the mashed potato, but I suppose you could argue that in general,
it's if you mashed potato. Yeah, if you kind of cross the streams a bit. Yeah.
But but before, apart from, because this is episodic. This gives episodic a bad name, right? But so before that kind of all trundles out, because it almost feels obligated to do it, right? The reason the film exists is that we get some sub kind of police academy obstacle course nonsense in which a woman's trousers fall down a lot, and there's a fat hopping vampire who claims that he's not actually dead. And all this kind of
I think is a nod to Full Metal Jacket, though. That was my takeaway. I assumed that was a Gomer Pyle kind of,
The thing is, you never know.
It could be. Yeah. I mean, it's not what the film's nothing to write home about. I mean, there's some good food in there when it's there.
Not much
Taiwan food. No, it's not enough of it. But what distinguishes it, at least from what I've seen before and what we watched before for this series, is the vampires there's no evil vampires in this yet again. And also, in order, there's this concept where in order for them to be able to be transported to their graves so that they can be reincarnated or be at rest or whatever, they have to have training scenes. So they have to do the assault course.
You can't just be in a corpse train without being trained.
Yeah, so you've got to do an assault course, like Private Benjamin, and you've got to there was no contractions, but you've got to.
There's even a bit where the fat guy knocks over like a climbing wall, and I thought that's exactly like when Hightower does it.
Exactly.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's also Carry On Sergeant. Now that I think about it, it's too bad that William Hartnell wasn't there.
We are missing. I guess because they can't talk. We're missing a hopping vampire Hooks.
Yeah.
That one. We're missing. There's no Bobcat, unfortunately. There's no Bobcat hopping vampire. That would have been.
Yes.
Who else is there? There's a few characters. Like there's that character who's only in. Is he? No, he is in the other. There's one that there isn't the one who does voices.
No.
There's no one fascinated with. Actually, there's no Police Academy characters.
No.
Huckleberry hopping vampire. That would have been good.
Yeah, but it's still Police Academy.
Somehow
it is. This can be nothing else. But
the other thing that's kind of worth notable, except it's not notable because you wouldn't know unless I only know this because it's said in the Hong Kong database trivia, and then I did a bit of research. It's also shot in South Korea, right?
Yeah.
Which you wouldn't get.
No.
It's shot in South Korea, and then there's a bunch of Korean people in the for instance, that the fat guy who says he's not dead. He's Korean, Maju Hyung, and there's a few other Korean as well. But yeah, that's the only clue. Produced by Lee Cho-nam, and also from Yukio Someno's production company, who also put out. Oh well, it's confusing. He's credited as presenter for a film we haven't watched yet, but we will watch, Aloha, Little Vampire Story.
Okay.
Which is coming up. And this brings me to something else that I wanted to mention, because things get a little bit confusing here in terms of chronology and release dates. This seems to be peak hopping vampire craze. There's so many things coming out in 88. So forgive us if we don't do things in quite the right order, because we don't always have specific release dates. I'm thinking, so there's a trilogy of Filmark masterpieces.
Oh, hang on, I forgot. I forgot we were going to do that.
Yes, I'm just going to say fake RoboCop. Leave it there, but that's that's a treat for. But I think that's actually going to be in next year's bunch. But because I think they came out about 88, but then some people say 87, and yeah, so this period is all going to be a little bit fucked up, and so yeah, don't take us as gospel in terms, because I'm sure we all look highly reliable, and that's what you were going to do. So I don't know if Aloha, Little Vampire Story, for example, was shot back to back. I don't know anything about it. I haven't seen it yet, but we will be getting to it, and we will have more fake RoboCops than you can shake a stick at. So fear not.
Nick, have you gone down the RoboCop versus the vampires?
For me, I've only ever seen the front covers.
Good.
Looking forward to those.
Yeah, they're gonna disappoint you and delight you in equal measure.
Excellent. So one thing I had a question about was, the Gomer Pyle, our heavyset guy who keeps claiming the whole time, and he turns out to be actually the mafia boss, who there's a whole subplot about his two goons trying to, like, they keep mistaking the little Hellraiser priest for their boss, but then they finally forget it's him. But anyway, he turns out to actually not be lying the whole time. Like, he is actually alive.
No, he's not dead.
Yeah, he's not dead. So kind of this surprise.
Because look, he's hungry all the time, isn't he? He's trying to get food. That's one of the gags, isn't it? Yeah.
I think this is what passes for like a witness protection program or something like that. Like pretend to be a vampire.
But then at the very end,
he's gonna like put John Gotti in prison or something.
So then at the very, very end, though, when they're all leaving to go on the corpse, everyone's finally trained up and they've solved the problem with the rival priests, they're all going to head off. And then he decides to join them anyway. It's kind of the, I didn't choose the Jyangshi life chose me, right?
Yes.
That's what I
just when you think they pull you back in.
Something else to mention, something I noticed in this. And you mentioned, funny enough, really good that you mentioned you could never tell that this was filmed in Korea. I worked out the way you're working it out, because the costumes in these North Korean productions.
North Korean?
Korean productions, pardon me. Yeah, that we know of. The costumes in North Korean, Taiwan co-productions that I've seen, at least on the martial arts
North Korean.
Fucking hell, Darren, shut up. Fucking hell.
You're gonna get us killed.
I just got,
You got Kim Jong-un on the brain.
Next month, I am going to turn up with the buzz cut. And, anyway, sorry.
Please,
Korean.
Please do. That would be good.
So, but I've noticed the costumes in these Korean productions are markedly different to most other Taiwanese productions that I noticed. They're kind of a lot more brightly coloured. and seem to have almost a uniform design. So if you think of films like Ninja vs. Shaolin Guards, for example, they all wear really, really similar costumes that look a bit like netball vests, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that you say it, yes. But
that seems to be a Korean-Taiwan co-production thing. That's just a thought. It's a germ of an idea at the moment.
Something to look out for in future.
Also worth mentioning that this print is ridiculously beautiful. Like outrageously pristine and high definition, and the color is just glorious. There's every now and then shot of just
it's weird, isn't it? You got to take what you're given for this to have been the one that had the HD.
Yes, it's
weird and ashamed, isn't it? But
I'm well done for buying that Blu-ray, Clive. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Yeah.
It only cost me my firstborn.
And the postage to the UK and Canada must have been
all the way from North Korea. Yes,
that's it. Yeah, North Korea. It's hard to get shit out of there, isn't it?
And if you're
I had to put it in a balloon. They had to put it in a balloon.
If you're doing your Jyangshi
with some shit. Yeah, carry on.
If you're doing your Jyangshi bingo, this one has another climactic scene where can the virgin boy piss in time to save everyone?
Oh yeah, we've got there's a bit of piss in it, of course.
A couple of other notable things that I picked up on was the villain in this film is defeated by a pylon, by which I mean not an electricity pylon, but everyone just jumps on them.
Yes.
What does Alexis Sale call it in that kind of bando or something? There's a phrase.
Oh yeah. There's bundle, isn't there? Some people in England call it a bundle, I think.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, something that surprised me was right at the end. There's some really cool magic battleship with like a hexagonal mirror. Jack Long's got some laser beam shit going on. Really well done. Everything else is a little bit on the cheap. The magic battle at the end, brief as it is really, really well done.
But plus as well, we're seeing it in HD, right? And
true, yeah.
But it is still a little bit too. I would say this overall we're getting near the bottom of the barrel here, aren't we, with Vampire Training Camp? I mean, it looks good. It's very much a polished turd affair, isn't it?
It is a polished.
Their makeup definitely seems to end around here. It gets very sketchy looking.
No, you missed the point. You missed the plot point because they give them some sort of makeup so that they can operate in the sun, which is why they can go out.
Oh, it's sunscreen.
It's
that
sunscreen.
Makes far more sense. Yes. So of course it's kind of patchy looking. Yeah.
They thought of everything, but and yet it's not that good.
Yeah. There's also a lot of Dennis the Menace slingshots quite near the end too. Which
also villain defeated by slingshots too. Yeah.
Shaolin versus Vampire, which seems to be a Japanese Hong Kong co-production. And I don't know if it was originally meant to be a TV movie, but that's how it ended up. It debuted on Japanese television. And I think it was that's the only way it existed in a Japanese dub. I don't know if it was actually released to Japanese VHS, but I think was it Rare Scope who put it out eventually on?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
with subtitles. So this one, so interestingly enough, not only does this star Liu Chia-hui, Gordon Lui, but he directed it as well, right? So it's third directing credit for him, right?
Yeah, but did he direct it? Because the credits on this one just look sketchy as fuck, frankly.
Well, I was led to believe that it was directed by him, because he previously done Breakout from Oppression, right? And the very good Shaolin and Wu-Tang, of course. And so this apparently is him having another go at it.
Is it shot on video? It looks very cheap. Like it looks.
I think
like
it's shot on sellotape.
Yeah, it's actually one of those ticker tape films where they just reuse the stock market paper.
Yes. Yeah, it's not a good-looking film.
No.
Don't get your hopes up that you're seeing anything in CinemaScope. 35mm here. This thing looks.
So Gordon Liu seems to be some sort of
bicycling a stuntman. Is what I took away.
Well, he's first and foremost he's a practitioner of the Shaolin martial arts, but he's also a stuntman because apparently they shoot lots of films in the middle of fucking nowhere village.
Village,
right?
Yeah. Right, okay, fucking front and center. This film makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, this is true enough. Yeah.
It's also not good, really.
Both of these things are correct. Yes.
Yes.
So, and his wife dies in a fire while trying to rescue his I can't remember. I was a little girl, right?
Yeah, a little girl. Yeah, she's kind of this film's 10-10. You can definitely see the increasing influence of the Hello Dracula films. I think
sure,
almost all have a little girl lead on in them now.
And I have to say, I know that we're sort of doing this in chunks, but what are we? Are we 27 films in or something like that at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the point where I have got little vampire fatigue.
Right.
This is and this film in particular is where I hit the wall.
Well, I did, and then our next film came along and rescued me. So, me anyway. But so
I watched this one last. So yes, fine.
There's a little bit of piss comedy as well, showing the Taiwanese influence.
Yeah.
So, but also, so there's a fuck, it's difficult to remember now. So she dies, and then there's a hopping vampire little boy who attaches himself to the little girl. Is he like, was he left behind or something during some sort of
a school trip?
Yeah, that's right. From
the underworld.
Yes, and he has to wait until a certain date before he can go back.
Yeah, he has intermittent glasses as well, which is very strange. Literally, it seems like in some shots he's wearing these round little John Lennon glasses, and they're gone.
To be able to see him unless he makes contact with them, and then they can see him or something like that. Because Gordon Liu's character as well is very much like he's a non-believer, right? He's non-superstitious. All the other villagers are superstitious, and if you're superstitious, he hits you with his bike.
Yes.
He's a bit aggressive, to be fair.
Yeah.
And
well, it turns out that there's a whole scheme by the local priest and the local head of the town to basically chase everyone, to have everyone believe that these supernatural goings on are going on, so they can be pushed out of the town. It's very much that kind of shitty 80s, comedy film bad guy who wants to buy up the town. At a cheap price, and
he's got some hopping vampires in his employ as well, doesn't it?
But strangely, he's also an actor who plays against Gordon Liu in the film that they're making. That is not in the slightest bit meta. This is not any sort of, but so we start so all of a sudden we start off with a spooky scene where they're filming a spooky scene for a vampire film.
Yes.
And the actor that plays the evil Taoist is also an evil Taoist who has a master who is an eviler Taoist or a more powerful Taoist.
Eviler Taoista, I think.
That's the one. That's the one. And he's the one that's trying to buy up the village.
Yeah.
But and
also, Tor Siu Ming might be in it. I thought I might have spotted Tosuming at the beginning of one of the villagers, but it could be someone else who just looked a little bit cross-eyed.
Because I mean, apart from Gong Yu, I mean, this is a solidly Japanese cast, isn't it? I mean, this is.
No, I think the only Japanese cast member is Yuki Kudo, right? Who turns up. So she's the she's the visiting student from Japan who's writing a thesis about Shaolin.
Yeah.
So she goes to hang out with him, and they have a almost romance, kind of, and there's a bit of a
no, it is a romance. They go on a date and everything.
Yeah, but they don't. It's very platonic.
Yes,
it's very platonic, and they split up at the end, right? But clearly, I mean, I don't. He's clear. Yeah, he's an older man, and teenage Yuki Kudo turns up. I don't blame him, but I don't think they. Yeah, they don't consummate the deal, do they? I don't think.
No.
Yeah, but they have. Yeah, they have a dating montage while the little girl sings, right? Which seems like it was designed to be clipped for a music video or something, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that thing is a piece of shit.
Yuki Kudo, 17 years old, here already had been in a couple of cult films. She was in Crazy Family and Typhoon Club. And then I suppose most well known still to this day outside Japan for being in Mystery Train, right?
Yeah.
The Elvis fan.
Yes.
Not Tara Parkins. Which is her boyfriend, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. And eventually they do see the little kid and they protect him, and yeah, there's the evil Taoist.
He's not cute either, I'm sorry, but he's very Corey Feldman, little gremlin squished face. At least give me like a cute baby vampire, but this film doesn't even get that right.
But see, the problem is, and I will die on this hill, is the first two Hello Dracula films, apart from the paedophilia undertones, are, and I'm including Mr. Vampire 2 in this, the best of the genre. They are the best of the little kid vampire subgenre. End of story as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
And yeah, the little kid seems a little bit too old.
Yep.
To be playing a cute little baby vampire, doesn't
he?
Because he seems like he's about 10, where he should be about 6.
Yep.
Yeah. And for some reason, he gets magicked into a spotty. Is this one? Fucking hell.
Yes. It's where they burn the clothes in order to get.
Yeah, they burn the clothes. So he gets. So instead of like Mandarin outfit, he's got like a polka dot.
A moo. We gotta have a spotty moo.
A polka dot moo for no good fucking reason.
But even that wasn't enough to impress Nick on his lookout for little boy thrill. Still not cute enough.
I demand a certain level of attractiveness.
Yes, the president of the Canadian branch of the Gary Glitter fan club demands more from his
Indeed.
Boys. Well, like why I already explained it, he's too old, isn't he?
Yes, yeah.
He's aged out for it.
Jesus wept.
There it is. That's the bottom. That's the bottom. We did it. We did it again, lads. We got to the bottom again.
Phew, I thought we were going to run out of time before we got there.
Yeah, I mean, at the very end, Gordon does pull out a halberd, and we get a tiny bit of Shaolin.
Yeah, not much though.
But not.
Although I would say I did quite enjoy the training scene. There is a training scene.
Yeah, there's something kind of adorable about Yuki Kudo getting up on some pots.
Yes, that part's fine.
Yeah.
And then doesn't his buddy show up wearing an armored bra at the end in that fight scene? I seem to remember, which was weird. I've written it down, so I thought
must have happened.
It must have happened. I
didn't write that down for some reason, but yeah.
I have to say, I found this a real slog. More than more than many of them, this one was hard go, and especially because it had Gordon in it, I would have had higher hopes. But
yeah, clearly you haven't seen enough dodgy Gordon.
I guess not.
Oh no, there's plenty more of these. There's a lot of these.
Okay.
Actually, this is amongst the worst, to be fair.
Yeah, no, it's not good. It's not good. It's definitely
no.
Yeah, I mean, looking, yes, it's not good. Let's just end it there, I think.
Yeah.
Aloha, little
Okay.
vampire story. Yes. Not set in Hawaii.
No. My first note, because like sometimes I'll write a single line at the after I've written all my notes, I'll just like try to sum the film up in one line, and my note just says, "Little rascals with dick grabbing, piss super soakers, and turd in the mouth gags."
It's a very good turd in the mouth gag, to be fair.
It's up there with the very best of them. It's this is a very eventful film. I'll give it.
Yes, a lot of shit thrown at the wall
happens in this film, and I quite enjoyed it. Like you were talking about getting hopping van, especially cutesy little boy hopping vampire fatigue. Yeah. Aaron. I found I got it's still refried beans, right? But I like refried beans.
Yeah, but it's the only thing that saves this for me is the excessive weirdness of it.
Yeah, because really goes out there.
Fucking weird film.
Where my favorite line. Other films of its type will make do with one piss gag. This has like 3 or 4, and like you said, a third one as well. Like
My favorite line in the whole movie is what I've been saying to my wife constantly ever since, because she watched this one with me for some reason. I don't know how this happened.
I'm wondering if it's my favorite as well. Carry on. Mine is a subtitle, but
mine just is when one character demands. It's when the kids are having their little rascals roustabout fight scene, and one kid says to another, "Why you grape my penny?" After he's grabbed his dick.
It's a good question. It's a good question. My favorite is the subtitle when they're just about to play hide and seek.
Oh yes.
I'll cunt. You better hide. Well,
yes,
I wrote that one down too.
Yeah. So in this film, the thing I like most about this film, and we've got to talk about the talent in this film at some point as well.
Yeah.
But what I like most about this film is there's a Chinese man in China that seems a bit remote, right, in context of the film, who seems to have been bitten by a Dracula.
Yes.
And has turned into a Dracula.
Yeah, he's got proper Christopher Lee cape and everything.
Yeah. And he's vulnerable to crucifixes and also being crucified.
Yep.
Which was nice. That was the first.
Well, we should mention, so this opens with like an extended family of hopping vampires. And it's a white vampire, as played by Lucifer Lee Hai-shang.
Yeah.
Choreographed
he's got a panda makeup, right? So he's all white faced with the black circles. But the other guy, who's called Black Vampire, looks like one of those Kogyaru girls from Japan circa 2002. Orange face with the big white shadow.
So it's Kogyaru Vampire and White Vampire Lucifer Lee, who co-choreographed with Alexander Laurie, who isn't in this one, apparently.
Okay.
So they're basically fighting over a beautiful ghost, right? And so her son, I guess from a previous hopping vampire marriage, I don't know, he gets it into his head, and he's like our main cute little vampire, probably a bit too old for Nick. He's fine. He hits your sweet spot, does he? Ringing Nick's bell. So he, for some reason, he gets it into his head that they're fighting over him. So he runs off, right? Which sets into motion, and then he befriends. So there's some bad little kids.
I think. Hang on, it's worth mentioning. Even in that opening scene, there's several things that are completely fucking bonkers. There's a At one point when she comes out, she has the dance routine, and then Uncle Black starts fantasizing about dancing with her, and then comes out of it and realizes that he's kissing another male vampire, who shouts at him, "Get out, you smurk!" Spelled S-M-U-R-K. You want me to get AIDS?
There then follows the ubiquitous AIDS gag.
AIDS gag, yes.
And the line, "You look like a gay."
Yep.
Yeah. Turns out, children's vampire films are a haven for. It's just how they roll these days.
Yeah, and it's not the subtitles. You can hear people saying AIDS.
No. It's all about the AIDS.
Yeah. No,
for the 5-year-olds to laugh.
Yes, the comedy gift that keeps giving, that was AIDS. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, go on.
Anyway, yeah. So and that sets into motion, and he befriends.
Maybe this was, So do you remember in the 80s in the UK you had these really scary adverts with like a tombstone?
Yeah.
Falling down.
Yeah.
Maybe this was Taiwan, Hong Kong's version of that. If you make enough AIDS jokes in supernatural films,
it's like an awareness.
It'll just dissuade everyone from any sort of unprotected sex whatsoever. So maybe they're actually doing the good work here,
Yes.
No. Carry on.
So yeah. So there's an awful lot of kids in this film, including you've got the kid who plays Golden Boy in Magic Warriors, which same co-director team as this film, right? Lee Cho Nam, who's also the producer, production manager, and Chung Yai Chen, who I was looking at Chung Yai Chen's his other films he directed as well. He directed some interesting films: Revanchis, 21 Red List, Shy Spirit. And the one I want to see is the one he made after this. I've not seen Kung Fu Student, because apparently it's Where's Officer Tuba, isn't it? Or Hopkirk Deceased, if you prefer. It's another variation on that. But I've seen Kung Fu Student, Darren. I've not seen.
No, I haven't seen it. No.
I'm quite keen to see that. Anyway, and then the kid who plays Baby Egg.
Yes, some good names in this.
Yeah, is the kid from Spirit versus Zombie.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Were you knocking one out to Baby Egg, Nick?
No, I was not.
Talking of cats,
you didn't release some of your baby eggs.
No, I did not. Oh, sweet Jesus.
Talking of cast, moving swiftly along.
Thanks.
That's it. I'm here for you, Nick. I'm talking.
You're too old for him, yes.
we got Cheng Shan in this as well.
Yeah.
Who did a fucking good job as the overboss of the Taoist priest, who's the kind of antagonist.
He's like the Taoist Van Helsing, isn't he? And also as well, they mentioned, because so they're looking for vampire blood, right? Which is somehow tied into the Dracula guy running.
It's one of those poison versus poison, like Chinese medicine.
But they also mentioned that group, Chan Chen's group. They also mentioned that they're from a foreign place. I don't know where they're from, but they're from a foreign place. They're not from wherever.
Well, what I caught was they need 1,000-year-old child vampire's blood to cure the Dracula vampire of his vampirism.
Yes,
that's what I got.
I took that away as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So initially they try with regular vampire blood, and then they go, no, this is not potent enough. We need 1,000-year-old child vampire blood. That'll do it.
So there's bad kids who go around pretending to be hopping vampires to scare the good kids.
They also run a pizza shop
in
Washington DC. Just for information.
Yes. And the good kids befriend the hopping vampire. And then there's a whole bunch, and then it just gets very, very, very episodic. obviously, as well as warning about the dangers of gays and AIDS. Unfortunately, they don't warn children about. Well, I suppose maybe they do, but they go back to a lit firework, and I know from adverts, you don't go back to a lit firework.
No.
Especially if you're wearing mittens.
Right.
Because the girl in mittens said maybe it was something to do with the mittens, you know.
And yes, and the fat kid falls over a cliff as well at one point just for a laugh. And
that all gets very because they go on a quest near the end.
And then suddenly Chang gets all fucking Rambo.
Yes.
And some kind of
triple gun
launcher or something. And it's like, what the fuck is going on there? And also the piss gun. Yeah, just when you think you've had one piss gag too many, there's a piss super soaker.
Yeah, well, it's not a super soaker though, is it? It's like one of those old-timey Victorian, like squirty gun things that they have. You know, like in the Carry On films when they're trying to get rid of like mosquitoes or fleas or something. They have like this cock-shaped thing with balls at the bottom. That you pump.
You pump it. Yeah.
Let us not forget the hilarity as well of Jyangshi in drag playing someone's mother, whose henpecked husband I still don't quite understand. For some reason, has to kneel with a chamber pot on his head at one point. I don't know why he's doing that. I still don't know why he's doing that. So yeah, there's quite a lot going on. There's quite a lot vying for your attention. And for me, this approach kind of worked. I have to admit, I rather enjoyed this kind of chucking shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. I had just entertainment value. To remove one's film critic hat for a minute, just entertainment value. I thought this gave its money because I didn't have to go the extra mile and have a big explosive finale. It's not a lazy film. They decided to give you your money's worth. They give you more piss gags, plus a bonus turd in the mouth gag. Everything, it's everything plus. Everything we've seen up to now plus.
By the way,
it's not original, but it's like when you buy a packet of crisps that has 20% extra. Like it's no better for you. It's no more nutritious.
Right.
But there's more of it. So it's a bargain.
Yeah, or it's like when you get the bag of crisps and it's got extra sprinkly, the sprinkly flavor they put in.
What's that?
Or like a nugget. There's like a nugget of like, when you buy a bag of Monster Munch, but there's this.
That's it. Yeah.
There's like this rock at the bottom of just like
a solid ingot of barbecue beef.
Yeah. That's funny. I've never encountered that after moving to Japan. It's funny until you mentioned that now. That's something I hadn't thought about since days in the UK.
No, I think it is very much an England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales thing.
No, but it's still a rarity. I think I've probably gone 5 years without getting an ingot in the crisps.
Oh no, it's definitely a treat. But what I'm saying is, it's a treat that we don't. I've never. I'm trying to think. No, I've never come across that like extra. What is it? Is it just someone in the factory like?
Well, I think it's probably they probably have like a measure, like a tablespoon measure or something. I think sometimes I think it's like meant to be sieved, and I think what you're getting is an exactly. It's like a clot, really, isn't it?
Yeah, someone bumps into Robbie the robot on the assembly line, and a little bit too much goes in. Good fun.
This movie ends with both the Kogyaru and the raccoon vampire. They both get to marry her at the end.
Yeah.
Right, which was
and it's also it's like this is obviously written, by some sort of polyamorous dude, because there is no stigma against a girl having 2 boyfriends and then having 2 husbands. That's all right.
it put me in mind actually of I was once invited to rent A Lady of the Night and go Chinese finger cuffs.
Yeah.
By someone, and and I chose to say no. Probably not my idea of a good time. But obviously for these two vampires, thumbs up for them.
I don't understand why that's not a good time, to be honest.
Yes.
Just objectively.
Sure.
If it had been Arnold from Different Strokes, you'd have been in there.
No.
You'd have been in there, and you'd been.
Well, no.
Webster, on the other hand, if it had been Webster,
you'd be abusive. You'd be, kidney motherfucker. You'd be in his face, or whatever it is that's wrong with him. Is he dead?
No. Arnold was 35 years old in 1984.
Yes, he was indeed.
Right. So that's no good to Nick, is it?
No.
No, I suppose, but he paused well, didn't he? Like, I can imagine Nick kind of willing the suspension of disbelief. Did he not have kidneys? Am I remembering that wrong or something?
No, you're thinking of Webster, who was the off-brand version of yes, that was Emmanuel Lewis, not
what show
Gary.
was that then?
It was just called Webster.
No, I've never seen that. I've never heard of it.
Oh, I've never seen that.
And there was someone in it that didn't have kidneys.
There were two competing shows, basically,
about
with
people with no kidneys.
more or less, yeah.
Wow.
Maybe we need to have a look at Webster then. I've never seen Webster.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind a bit of Webster.
How
Google
can you
him.
tie it into Shaw Brothers?
Right. Anyway, back to the film.
Yes.
We need to get on to the finale.
Yes.
So the crucifix, laser beam heavy crucifixion finale.
Yeah.
Which is excellent.
It is. It's into Kung Fu Underchild territory a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And whatever that gun is, it's like that thing from RoboCop that blows up the cars. Yeah.
But it's also funny enough, on a different podcast, Clive and I are going to be speaking about a film with a similar gun in it. So
okay.
Return of the Chinese Boxer has got like this 12-barreled revolver shotgun thing, blunderbuss thing in it, which is not dissimilar to the gun that blows up the vampires at the end of this.
Which came first?
Return of the Chinese Boxer.
Okay.
Yeah, 77, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think this has been in existence somewhere for a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
I feel as if there's a few spaghetti westerns with
Yeah.
Type around the same time, right? So yeah.
But but end fight, excellent. Let's not forget who's doing the Kung Fu choreography on this, which is Lucifer Lee and Alexander Lowray. So immediate scene quality.
Yeah.
Do an excellent job. Really nice flips and dusty, painful looking, bashes against walls and trees and all that business. A thoroughly good laser beamy crucifixy.
So we should mention as well that normally we'd immediately be talking about another film because we did School for Vampires, right? Which has a little bit of a connection somewhere, and then Nick kind of stumbled across. There's something that's labeled. It's on archive.org as ALOHA Little Vampire Story, but it's not. I don't know if you saw this post.
I saw it earlier on today.
So there's another. It seems to be produced by Lee Cho-nam, my good friend Sato-san pointed out. So this was a film. It only seems to have been released in Japan under the awesome title Kyonshi Goonies. And that also has Lucifer Lee and Chan Chan and Jack Long in it. But yeah, only seems to be available in this Japanese dub, this Japanese VHS, which someone uploaded thinking it was ALOHA, Little Vampire Story, at archive.org. Also, if you go over to archive.org, type in ALOHA, Little Vampire Story, and you find it, go down and click on the link for the user who put it up and the other things that he's put up, or she maybe has put up on archive.org. A lot of very rare, weird nuggets of things from Japanese VHS days. I think I sent you the link, didn't I, Nick?
I had a good look today, and yeah,
bits and pieces in there. I recommend you do the same thing, Darren Bach. Yes, normally be talking about that, but it came a little bit late to our attention. Plus, I'm hoping maybe there's a small chance we might find out a little bit more about it by next year. So it'll be in next year's increasingly large bonus episode of, because we're doing more than 31 hopping vampire films, give or take the ones that aren't really hopping vampires.
Well, sounds like about 62 at the moment.
Yeah, well, when we do next year's show as well, it'll be about that.
Yeah.
But we've still missed some along the way somehow, and we haven't even stopped looking yet. So yeah, there's going to be quite the bonus episode next year, and I think we'll check Kyonshi Goonies, as we'll refer to it for now. Into that pot. But it's just worth mentioning because I think it's from around this time. Clearly, the same bunch of people, but except that one was shot on video and aimed at the video market, whereas this looks like this ALOHA Little Vampire Story looks like a proper film, right? And I don't expect Kyonshi Goonies to be anywhere near as good as this, but you never know. Any further thoughts on ALOHA Little Vampire Story?
Just try not to rape my penny.
That works.
Fair enough. Do you want to be in my gang, my gang, my gang? Do you want to be in my gang? No, Nick, I don't. I would rather watch The Vampire Partner from 1988. Directed by character actor Chan Lau, who's also in it, briefly. So I was looking this up, actually. So Chan Lau directed a handful of films. Interestingly, the first one and the last ones were both co-directed by the same man. They made like a kung fu film in 1974 called Trail of the Dragon. And then the two teamed up to direct Angel Terminators 2, almost like 20 years later.
Yeah.
In between, Chan Lau directed this erotic passion and false lady by himself. Thought that was kind of interesting that these two films 20 years apart were directed by the same team. Right, so now then, Vampire Partner is about some rival human trafficking triads.
Always a good theme for a comedy film.
Yes, I think.
Exactly. It's comedy human trafficking.
Yes, and also let us not. And they remind you later on in the film as well that Siu Yuk Lung, who's our hero from the Possessed films, he's a pimp as well, isn't he? He is a pimp. Which also, so I was thinking about this. I'm wondering if there's because we're so used to off-color humor and things that we didn't normally say. And don't worry, there's an AIDS joke in this film as well. That sometimes I think it's very, you just take it for granted that there's this kind of strange humor gap maybe between East and West. And I think most of the time that's probably right. I think we can apply Occam's razor, right? I don't think we have to necessarily go out of our way to find some sort of, to forgive it something that it's not, that is forgivable or whatever. But I do wonder in the case of Vampire Partner, I'm wondering if actually it's a part of it is that it's supposed to be in bad taste. Did either of you get that feeling from it? Like, I don't think it was just misjudged weird comedy from an outsider perspective. I was wondering if the fact, because they bring up again and again that he's a pimp or something, I wonder if it's supposed to be like, if it's deliberately bad taste that our hero is a pimp and all the heroes are actually human trafficking. Like, it seems layered on quite thick, like it's like they're in on the joke this time. No, not correct.
No, I think you're attributing too much sophistication to this film.
What do you think, Nick? Because you're the one who enjoyed this film, so what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know that I necessarily think it was intentional.
Okay,
yeah, I mean, maybe, but it's the usual batshit stuff. So yeah.
So what is interesting, so I was writing about this, and I think what is interesting more than anything else about this film is, I think the more that you're already invested in Hong Kong films of the 80s and 90s and you know, actors of that era and familiar character actors and stuff like that, it becomes interesting just because both Tai Bo and Wong Ching have kind of been plucked from, you know, their usual small character actor bit parts and have suddenly been given a buddy vehicle, you know, like Midnight Run or something, or 48 Hours or something like that, you know. Which is, it's interesting just because, well, especially in the case of Wong Ching, who's a very interesting looking fellow, and Tai, it's just, if you already know these guys from dozens of other films, there's something automatically fascinating about them being leads, even if the film's not any good. Just consider, I could watch another 3 or 4 of this double act if they would have been.
It does remind me of when we did the Wilson Tong series on Akafus.
Right.
Sorry, Nick, about that. But when we did Ghostly Bus and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Tai Bo's all over that. So, you know,
right.
Late stage Wilson Tong is all about, you know, not having enough actors apart from not Chan Wai Man, Choi Siu Keun, to fill out his role. So it's basically Tai Bo and Choi Siu Keun are just his stable, aren't they? And that's, I think that's a feature of the 80s, you know, in terms of the lower budget. If Tai Bo is in something, the larger his role, the lower the budget.
Yeah. Particularly, I like seeing Wong Ching because I mean, Wong Ching's like, I was trying to. It's like Warren Oates with the bends or something.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
So anyway, there's this human and also, this is the other. So we had terrible fucking subtitles for this film.
Yeah.
Right? An example of how bad the subtitles are. There's an entire sequence which it took me a while to figure it out, but it's a reference or a parody of The Untouchables, isn't it?
Yeah.
The scene where Robert De Niro caves in the gangster's head with a baseball bat. And it took me a while because they keep talking about the famous gangster Carpont. And it took me ages to figure, all right, and the baseball bat, and okay, I understand. So so there's an Untouchables reference in there, which I didn't expect, and there's a few other film references and stuff. But basically, so they're human trafficking for. There's some comic relief, a Japanese sex tourist group as well, right?
Yes, that was quite weird to actually see that inter-Asian.
Yeah. That's kind of fun. I enjoyed that. Because this would have been 88. This would have been peak.
Prime of sex tourism.
Men going to other parts of Asia to fuck women for like bowls of rice or whatever, right? And there's a rivalry between Wing Chong and Tai Bo, and Siu Yuk Lung is kind of stuck in the middle of it. and he's got his girlfriend Monica, and they both kind of take a fancy to her. And Taibo tries to rape her, drugs and rapes her, but then he's nominally on Taibo's side, right? But then Wong Ching kind of, he says he's going to help him get the girl back, but he doesn't really do that. But there's a shootout, and Wong Ching and Taibo end up shooting each other dead, basically, right? So then
we get into Beetlejuice territory, basically. We go to a very bureaucratic version of hell, where
that's Chinese hell.
Yes,
that's just Chinese hell.
There's a lot of paperwork and things getting stamped,
and there's specific things like from the Japanese film Hell as well, like the guy being sawn in half, and Now, what's the deal with this bit I didn't understand? They meet, they meet a former rival, who's got patently fake big ears.
I didn't get that.
And there's someone shoving knives through them. What's all that about then?
Don't know.
Is it an Ivy Ling 4 reference, perhaps? I didn't get that. Anyway,
no.
The King Yan judge of hell, as played by it's Lo Hoi Pan, right? He turns up. And so there's a whole bunch, again, the subtitle, there's a whole bit here which is confusing, because it sounds at first when they turn up, they're going to be allowed to go back to Earth for a week, as long as they bring back a television set. But that doesn't happen, and they're giving an introductory tour of hell, to which they find out if they steal some women's underwear, they can use it to distract Lo Hoi Pan's judge character. And they do get some underwear off the chick who works at the hell desk, but by giving her a new pair of pants or something, I couldn't quite figure out what all that.
Because she seems to want a pair of pants, and is willing to exchange her knickers, for some white fronts for some reason.
Then they don't even use the women's underwear to escape from hell. They just
there's a bit. No, they're not. No, there's a bit later on where they chuck some knickers at someone. I don't quite remember where that is.
Well, it's confusing because Sancho Lam turns up as the forever old Sancho Lam turns up as an underwear thief.
Yes,
the
pants ninja, basically.
Which I don't think has anything to do with but we got really terrible subtitles.
But the kind of crux of this comedy is they managed to finagle their way out the underworld, don't they? By kind of
they escape
artistry. But it's all and they get given 2 pills.
Tablets.
And they take the wrong one, right?
So you get into Freaky Friday territory, or
exactly. So So Taibo ends up in Wang Chung's body and vice versa.
Except later on they run into each other really fast, and so that's resolved. I thought that was going to be a thing through the whole film, right? Yes, mixed it, but that doesn't really. And then the whole, again, this is confusing to me. So they escape from the underworld. Well, they escape legitimately because they get their passports stamped. They get the pills. But then they don't just go back. They have to go back, and they find their bodies in caskets, in old caskets, like an old worldy kind of, even though it's a modern day. And they get in the wrong one, and then they get back in their bodies, but then they're still floaty ghosts, and they're floaty ghosts, and again, the reason it's here, they're very briefly hopping vampires for about 30 seconds. Phew, they managed to get it in there.
Not for long. Not for long.
And there's some fake and they attack some campers and
who sing a great
all their stuff.
Who sing a great song about I think it's the I Love Barbecue song, which is a very strange moment.
The other weird thing is, as well, is what I don't understand from the beginning, unless it's just to make the hopping vampire gang, because the gang, after both Wong Ching and Taibo have died, they decide to kind of bury the hatchet, and they bury them together. They go to the same Undertaker. Ho Pak Wong plays the Undertaker, and Ho Pak Wong insists on putting them in the Manchu Qing dynasty vampire thing. Why, I'm not sure.
For the movie poster, Clive. That's for the movie poster.
Right, so they can do the gag. But anyway, so yeah, they're rascals for a while, and then almost out of nowhere, well, it's during a scene where they steal some blood from a
double-decker bus.
No, you don't. You remember that you used to see them. You used to see them here in Japan. Sometimes they would have those mobile bus blood banks. Yeah. Did you never donate?
No, I don't think I ever saw like a proper English like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, so
that was quite fun. I enjoyed that. Yeah.
But they are in the middle of. They're just about this again. This crap subs. They steal. They go around the corner. We got some blood, and then you can hear the nurse. And she doesn't even say anything. She doesn't even say anything like, "Oh, this blood was on its way to some poor orphans" or anything. She just literally says, "Some bloke stole some blood," which they know they've done, but somehow they have a change of heart and they don't drink it. I'm a bit confused. And they go back and they give the now contaminated, I would imagine, blood back. So that's not good. But this signals that they decided to do good. So this manifests itself in them kind of atoning for their past sins by helping Siu Yuklung, the pimp, marry the girl of his dreams, Monica, whose father, Lao Siu Ming, is a gangster, and he has to impress the father by being involved in some karate judo contest.
Tournament.
Tournament.
Yes.
This contradicts your
not a very good tournament.
No, but that tournament films are automatically good, right? And there's a lot of gamblers, card playing stuff, and they try and convince him that they're really rich because we've got a pool that's so huge back at home that when some athletes used it, they took days to get from one side to the other because our pool's so big. I
do like that's the segment where also where the gangster dad who doesn't want his daughter to get married, all tests are cancelled. Ping is a pimp, and then Monica, the girlfriend, says it's a decent career, father.
Yes.
She's apparently fine with it. But have you forgotten David? David,
the white, who's friends with what's his name?
Chong Fat.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a weird.
They show up, right?
They're into vampire research, aren't they?
Yes.
That's the thing with them.
And they immediately suss that these two are
Jyangshi.
Yeah.
And there's a new little wrinkle in the whole Jyangshi mythology here, because at one point he says, "Well, check their asses because Jyangshi don't have like flesh at their coccyx," kind of basically. So,
So basically, look at the hole.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Discoloration of the hole means you're undead.
You mean as in look at the hole? No, hang on. Talk to the hand.
Oh no, hang on. I'm not going to do that sign. Sorry, I was just going to do a sign that isn't. I'm never ever going to do again. Yes.
Right.
So talk to the hole like that.
Yes. So yeah, and Cheng Yen Man from Vampire vs. Sorcerer 2, which we talked about is here. Adi Sung. Ooh, Adi Sung is in it. Peter Chang Long, Win Lau. Cross-eyed bingo. Sorry.
Yes.
Yuta Wan and To Siu Ming are in there, which is all for a celebration.
But fucking hell, Adi Sung looks a fucking staked in this film. Doesn't it? He looks like he's been dragged through a hedge. Fucking backwards, and it looks like he's hit hard times because he's got no hair. He's got long hair at the back. He's wearing some sort of threadbare suit. It's a sad thing to see. Anyway, carry on.
Yes. So and eventually there's a wedding, and then the judge Lo Hai Pang turns up again to drag our ne'er-do-wells back to the underworld, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good.
But it's nowhere near as like it passes the time fine. You know what I mean? Like this, it doesn't drag, to me at least. It didn't drag.
No.
I wasn't watching looking at the clock every 2 minutes, going like, oh fuck, how many more minutes of this are left?
It's a fascinating time capsule in so much as, like I said, on the one hand, when character actors get to star in something, and that's interesting, but also it's this kind of weird, like, what happens in like the end of the cycles of the Italian rip-offs when they get weird. It's what happens when, you know, basically commercial cinema chasing several different trends at the same time, kind of like putting the paintbrush in the water too many times. Ends up like you only end up with a film this quite conceptually strange, like when you're chasing several different threads, right? And you don't realize that what you've come up with is what is this story again? Like, this is a very fucking weird story.
I question that though, because I think that this film's actually in many ways very conventional, right? And if you think about Where's Officer Tuba or something like that, which is a good comparison, right? I think, right? Had they just taken tits out and maybe a few squibs, then this would have been just a family blockbuster.
Yeah, that's true. But
they had to and for that reason, it's like, yeah, I'm here for the gangster violence, and I'm here for the sleazy tits and all that. But at its core, this is just a wholesome buddy comedy.
I know what you mean. It's kind of like a sleazy version of, like, in the United States, they would have made, like, I don't know, Ghost Dad with what's his name?
Bill Cosby.
Cosby, yes.
Yes. I kept almost saying Bing Crosby, but it's not quite right. Yes, Bill Cosby. That other fine, upstanding. But
literally, seeing it reenacted in this film of somebody.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, he does do a Cosby, doesn't he? And there's so you could argue, yes, around the world, people were making this kind of film. So I see what you're saying. It's kind of a variation, but I still think it's a very strange concoction, which doesn't work at all. It is rubbish. There's no doubt about it.
No. But what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is that the meat and gravy of this film, right? The core of this film is some gangsters died, and they were enemies. And then as soon as they died, they realized that it wasn't important anymore. So they became friends. And then they basically went and helped their other friends.
You're right. And that's what I'm saying. So,
and it's a happy ending.
Yeah.
But they just sprinkle a load of.
No, but that's what I mean. Along the way, following these very commercial, it got weird.
Yes. Exactly. No, I agree.
Yeah. Because they're chasing a whole bunch of different things at the same. Oh, this was popular in that film, and that was popular in that film.
But
so
surely you're not going to get that. You're not going to get the hardcore, pump action shotgun to the chest gangster film fan, right? And you're not going to get the Cat 3, sleazy, tits and ass fan, because there's not enough of it in there.
It's a film that pleases no one. Yeah.
I think I have
in the words of the great Lionel Blair.
I think I have a perverse attraction to exactly that kind of thing.
I get that. It's like it's heroically unsatisfying. They've gone that extra mile and made it unpalatable for anyone who might be interested.
I really, it begs the question too. At one point, one of the two gangsters gets really concerned that his wife is gonna cuckold him, but he's dead. And it made me wonder about that. Did you just like, do you have a right to be angry if you're dead, that your significant other has shacked up with somebody else? But then he uses the green hat term, and this is the first time. Have any of you actually looked it up? Like where this?
No.
No, I was wondering what this might refer to.
So I finally did. I finally Googled.
You've mentioned it before. You've mentioned it on a previous podcast.
I've definitely. I've mentioned the green hat before. I know that because it struck me that when it showed up in some of the what's this gummy,
So what are you doing now?
The gummy sleazy guy who did all of the
Simon
Ching, yes.
Oh, right.
He refers to the green hat in one of those, and I was like, so I looked it up.
Enlighten us, Nick. Tell us more.
So here we go. So there are two different potential etymologies for the green hat term. So you can choose which one you want to believe. So one is according to a local legend. There was a scholar named Li Wanming, who lived in the Tang dynasty. He was married to a beautiful woman named Sifu, would often have to travel for work, leaving her alone for weeks on end. So she basically struck up an affair with a widowed cloth merchant nearby. But then he starts spending more time at home, and it's harder for them to kind of figure out when to have their assignations. So she buys a green hat, and whenever he's going out of town, she puts the green hat or makes it with the green hat so that the other guy, like, okay, he's gone for the whole night or he's gone for the day. I can get in there now. So this is one version, but apparently, and this is the one that sounds like it might be more checkable. It says apparently in the Yuan dynasty, 1271 to 1368, prostitution was on the rise, and so to identify different social classes in the street, prostitutes and their families were told to wear green headscarves, and they were only allowed to walk on a certain side of the street so that normal citizens could avoid them. And over time, the wearing of a green hat basically meant that your wife or your daughter was working as a prostitute. So it was a kind of a loss of face thing.
That's good. Nice bit of research there. Also, I'd like to add what also happened over the years, of course, is prostitutes evolved as things do and became the modern day leprechaun.
I see. I see. Hence the green.
Yeah.
And that's why the pot of gold disappears after a certain amount of time.
Yes, and that's why, because it's short in stature and looks like a child. That's why Nick gets confused. Sex and little boys and things like that.
Is that why?
It's a theory.
That's enough. That's enough.
Right. Yes. You're putting these questions out there into the world. That's all.
Yeah.
No, I'm just asking, like my good mate Nigel F. I'm just asking questions. God, that man's a cunt. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Yes. We can only hope that he gets dragged to hell and thrown in a cauldron and sautéed in his own fucking onions.
Yeah.
And that Tom Robinson go along with him as well.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a comeuppance coming. I'm confident that in the next maybe 5 years, some very bad shit will come out about them, and they may be imprisoned or.
Well, and when they go to Buddhist hell, don't allow them women's underwear so they can escape.
Yeah.
No, and they're gonna have big ears. I'm gonna stick things in them.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's a good place to
Nigel Farage and Tommy Robinson adjacent.
As played by Wong Ching and Tybor.
That's it.
So to give it its proper title, Mr. Vampire Saga 4. Right?
So where'd the fucking saga come from all of a sudden? Is the question.
I don't know. Is it officially, if you've got 4 parts, it's a saga? I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
That's a quadrilogy.
Isn't a saga.
That's a quadrilogy, Clive.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
It felt like there were too many syllables in that, Nick.
No, I remember well the release of the Alien box set quadrilogy, circa
did
whatever
the word
it was.
Quadrilogy actually exists before that Alien?
No, the word is quartet, but for some reason, somebody at 20th Century Fox.
It's invented solely for the benefit of DVD special editions.
Yes.
In 1998.
Yes.
I remember going to see Alien Resurrection in the cinema in Carmarthen and actually quite enjoying it. I always thought Alien Resurrection got a bit of a bad rap.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
It's quite good fun.
Yeah, that's the one with the half alien Sigourney Weaver, isn't it? And the weird
Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder as well. Yeah. It's made by the French.
I enjoyed that.
Right? Who did
City of Lost Children? Oh, it's the
both.
Of them. Yeah,
I enjoyed that. It's got Ron Perlman in as well, isn't it?
And, yes.
Yeah, and it's like scuzzy space marine shit, isn't it?
And I think isn't Brad Dourif in it as well? Maybe if I remember.
Brad Dourif. Yeah, but Brad Dourif was in everything in that.
This is true. We need to bring Brad Dourif back. I don't see him much nowadays. I'm sure he is doing stuff, but
might still be voicing Chucky. I suspect that's probably what he mostly does now is voices Chucky.
Well, they've remade Chucky though, haven't they?
Right, but I thought, was he not brought back to just continue to do the voice in the TV series?
I don't think he is. I don't think he is for the new film. I don't think that's Brad Dourif.
Oh, okay.
I might be wrong, but I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Yeah. See, I actually quite like Prometheus. And that's like fucking heresy, that is.
I don't mind Prometheus. Yeah, I haven't. The only one I haven't seen, actually, I haven't seen the most recent one.
I haven't seen that. No.
Romulus, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, but the one before that, I also didn't see Ridley Scott's last one. I didn't see.
Covenant. That one wasn't very good.
But I did like Prometheus. I thought it had a good vibe.
So is the next one going to be Alien Remus?
I assume.
You never know. Yeah.
I mean, they go together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or Alien Wolf's Teeth.
I'd pay to see that.
So that brings us nicely.
It's a bit of a dry franchise now, to be fair. So
to
carry on.
You don't want to be going into a dry Remus. There we go.
All right.
Were you doing the Taoist
vampire
charm there? Is that what you're linking the two things? You were.
Yeah. That's right, Clive.
Right,
yes, that's exactly what I was doing. Yes. So what we're talking about tonight,
Mr. Vampire Saga
4. Yes.
Things go very sitcom-y here. I mean, they've been trending that way already, but to me, this one really, like, the opening music is absolutely like a 1980s, and
it kind
Family Ties or something.
It plays a bit like a Taoist Never the Twain, doesn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely, and it's simultaneously very quaint, but also kind of somewhat violent. It's like up the violence again, isn't it?
Yeah,
kinda. Yeah.
So I mean, just to get the setup out the way, it's simple enough, really. There's we don't have Lam Ching-ying, we should mention. He's been replaced by Wu Ma, which, to be fair, you can't really replace Lam Ching-ying, but if you're going to replace Lam Ching-ying, you can't get better than Wu Ma, really. Well,
actually, I'd argue that they've replaced Lam Ching-ying with what's his name? Anthony Chen Yang. Yeah. Because he's kind of playing the Taoist character, whereas Wu Ma's playing like the Buddhist kind of character, isn't he?
Yes, I suppose so. But Wu Ma seems to be because the other one's the git, isn't he? It's basically, and Wu Ma's the more benevolent kind of.
I suppose. Yeah.
Oh, I suppose between the two of them, they kind of have.
They make a Lam Ching-ying, don't they?
Yeah. And one of and Anthony Chan Yao's kind of disciple is played by Chin Ka-lok.
Yep.
And then stick fish in his pants, something that for some reason is gonna recur in this episode.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that. Scales under the foreskin, not.
Yeah. There must have been some sort of, something in the waters with carps and dicks in 19. When was this? 88.
Yes.
Yeah. There's something going on in 1988 with aquatic sexualities, isn't there?
And Wu Ma lucked out. He doesn't have to hang out with Chan Ka-lok. He gets to hang out with Loletta Lee, which is much preferable. I think we all agree.
Yeah. Yes, very happy with that.
And then well, Hopping Vampire stuff happens eventually, right? After a long period of
what's interesting. Stuff. It feels like over half the running time is given over to this rivalry between the two of them. And I was thinking, is this gonna, like, when are they gonna, and then suddenly when it does come in, it goes full on for the entire last back. It's like Dusk Till. You're wondering, somebody told me this was a vampire movie, and you're like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
And then it's suddenly...
No, I timed it, funnily enough, because I noticed where the fucking vampire's at. It turns out you have to wait 50 minutes.
Yeah.
For any sort of hopping vampire action.
But the last proper half hour is non-stop.
Yeah.
So my main takeaway from this as well was I was very harsh. I looked back on, and my memory of this was I was quite dismissive of this, and the one and I think only time I'd seen it before. And I checked out my old review, and I was very dismissive of it, and too much comedy, not enough, whatever. But I have to say, this time watching it, when it finally comes, that final half hour is pretty fucking good, actually. I have to say, like, it's pretty non-stop. It's pretty non-stop once it gets going. And I really enjoyed that back end, and everyone's getting involved, and the action's pretty good, and it's quite imaginative. It's quite like straight through to the finish line. Oh, freeze frame. That bit is most satisfying. The only trouble is that first hour is, I mean, it's a bit of an uphill struggle.
But also there's kind of like some missed opportunities in the first almost an hour as well, because it's right at the start of the film you get the Pauline Wong cameo, right, where she's another fox spirit.
Yes, and
that shit's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I do like his laser coin glasses that he uses in that.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. And the other thing I remember finding Anthony Chan Yao incredibly annoying the first time I saw this film as well, but he didn't annoy me this time. I don't know if I'm just getting more acclimatized to the humor of these films or something, but he didn't irritate me anywhere near as much as I remember him the first time I watched it.
And this is the first movie where somebody uses a frog to as the line leader in a line of Jyangshi. We haven't seen that before.
Yeah, that was fun. That was good. Yeah.
More problematic, I suppose, is choreographer Yunhwa's hilariously effeminate gay vampire.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, he seems to be quite gay before he becomes a vampire.
Yeah, he's exceedingly camp.
He is the broadest of gay stereotypes.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant by
before and after.
I wasn't saying it's a problem that he's a vampire. I mean,
I mean, careful. Let's make sure we're discriminating against the right casts of people here.
Yes, so that doesn't play too well nowadays, does it? Really?
Although it is fun to see, because it's like because we've all seen Yunhwa being a bit camp, in Dragons Forever and Eastern Condos and a few other bits and bobs that he's done. but you don't often see him go full on sort of
dial it.
Dick Emery or
yes. And then there's the whole stuff with whatever that stuff they cover the floor with, and the zombie. That was good, very kind of Evil Dead-y, and when there's
a few parts that are very
snake into its mouth and all the effects going on while that's happening. That's quite.
There's also a part where something's head comes smashing through the floor, and then somebody kicks it and it bites their shoe, and that's also very
that's
Evil Dead too.
Yeah, because they cover the floor with something, don't they? Like some sort of, I don't know what it is. Like 3 years.
Yeah, like molasses. It's like molasses or something. Yeah, so it's sticky. Yeah.
To be honest, I actually don't really know what the fuck was going on, really, story-wise. It never really kind of explained, like, the whole setup, why they're living next to each other, why they're there. Like, I don't really understand.
And who is the super vamp who shows up, who looks a bit like Eddie off of the front cover of an Iron Maiden album in, Chinese funereal garb?
Well, that's the same one, isn't it? That's the same one who seems to mutate.
Yeah, he transforms, doesn't he?
So he transforms. He
but that's cool. I like that. When he's his final bug-eyed zombie, that's quite cool. And his face does all that. Like they force feed him some sort of powder or something, and he starts disintegrating and then
because they essentially like poison him to death, don't they? They poison him until he explodes at the end.
Like I said, there's so much going on in that last 30 minutes. I don't really know, but I just enjoyed it, and it was finally, this is what I've been waiting for. And this time I thought it was worth the journey to get there. I really enjoyed that last 30 minutes. Plus, the other thing, Darren's disagreeing somewhat, I feel, by his head movements. But the other thing I wanted that really jumped out at me this time I really appreciated, like, so when we were talking Mr. Vampire 2, and we were talking about like that set piece when they're on the highway and stuff, and we were talking about how they were kind of trying to Amblin entertainment it up a bit and kind of present, like, take these tropes and things and present it in a properly dynamic way. And as much as we love those kind of cheap Taiwanese scrappy kind of very quickly edited things, almost like comic book frames, and you get the sense you've seen something but you haven't really. What I really liked about this was, like, they really captured, as kind of wah and kind of corny as some of the gags were. There's one in particular. There's the bit where they're having like some kind of food fight, and Wu Ma gets the beans up his nose.
Oh, yeah, that's disgusting.
And they fly across into antigen. But
mouth, yeah.
But the thing was, like, it was really well captured. It was beautifully lit. You could, a little bit of slow-mo, you could clearly see the beans going up into the nostril. They come out and it's nice, and they go, and you clearly see them landing it. Like, it was so well presented. And I was thinking, we haven't seen that. That's like, it's like I really appreciated the craft that it,
the gag.
For such a stupid fucking someone's beans fly out of their nostrils, they actually went to the effort of making it like you've no doubt of what you've seen, right? I appreciated that they went the extra mile to present it properly.
Well, I think that's something that's consistent throughout the series, is production values.
Yes.
And they're not rushed productions.
No,
right?
no,
so
no,
they've got a budget. They obviously have plenty of planning time. They obviously have plenty of filming time. They're not quickies. They're obviously planning these a year in advance for whenever it is, whenever the festival is, or whenever the release date is. They know, a year after Mr. Vampire 2 is coming out, it's Mr. Vampire 3, and then so it goes.
I think this one was a Christmas release for '88, I think.
Okay, yeah. But it's clearly, they've clearly got the budget. They've clearly got competent hands behind the camera, and the studio is very interested in making an extravaganza with lots of special effects and lots of talent, and you know, it's and this is the whole series thus far, anyway.
Yeah, I just it jumped out at me here with scenes like that. I was just like, oh yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah. You can't fault them for, you know, doing it properly, right? And I think if I was slightly more like, I'm trying to think about if you'd gone to see this at the theatre at Christmas time, if you weren't too disappointed by the paucity of vampire action in the first 2/3, I can imagine this being quite a fun watch, like a fun family watch. And I can imagine, you know, spitting my popcorn out when the beans went into Anthony Chanyao's mouth, and you know, it's quite. It's, you know, it does have its charms. It does have its charms, and I was just surprised because my memory of it was I totally wrote it off the first time round quite unfairly. It's not the terrible sequel that I remember it being, and some people are quite fond of this one. Some people even think of it as a bit of a return to form after the third one.
Mm-hmm. And Fat Chong shows up as well, who had previously been seen in like one of the rip-offs. Right?
Yeah. Well,
he's
in Samuel's stunt team, though. So Chong Pat is in Samuel's stunt team, and he's
right.
You always see him around these productions.
And there's a very, very big sword.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I found that was something quite I did find funny. Is Anthony? Well, I never get his name.
Anthony Chanyao.
Yeah. Anthony Chanyao just keeps pulling out bigger and bigger swords at various intervals.
Doesn't he kind of swell up like
Superman? Yeah.
Story of Ricky. Oh, say that at one point.
Yeah, so right at the end he does like this prayer, doesn't he? Like some yin yang altar or something that he does these prayers to, and then all of a sudden he swells up.
Yeah, and there's like a musical.
On a nail.
Yeah, there's a musical.
Oh yeah, there's a Superman cue.
Yeah, so it's clearly a Superman. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but then he steps on a nail and then deflates.
Yeah.
So for me, it was good fun, right? I did find Anthony Chanyao annoying.
Okay.
As annoying as the first time as I saw him, so he is annoying as fuck. And clearly, because it's weird, it's like he's somewhere in between Lam Cheng-ying and Dean Sheck, right? But for me, he's not quite doing either job well enough, really. But for me, it's fun. I think it's fun to watch any film that has this much care taken about it, with the talent behind the screen, right, behind the camera.
Yeah.
So it's a quality production from a quality studio. It's got quality people involved. They're actually concentrating rather than doing stuff in their sleep. So you're always going to be invested, and there's always going to be something fun to watch.
And yet what they're doing is things like a guy getting kicked so that he falls ass forwards onto a cactus, or a guy being forced to drink a huge bowl of oil.
Yes, so finally, this year's hopping festivities come to an end with our kind of red hot exclusive, right? A TV series, no less, that you're not going to hear much spoken of. So again, from '88. So as we talked about, all these things were a massive hit in Japan, specifically the Hello Dracula series, which still has another 2 films to go as well.
Yeah, we haven't finished with Hello Dracula, have we?
Next year we will be reacquainting with that Dracula. We won't have seen him for 12 months, so it'll be a genuine. Oh, hello, Dracula.
Oh, hello, Dracula.
How have you been?
Yeah.
How's your Bert's lumbago and all that? So, and but between I think between 3 and 4, I'm not exactly sure, but these things were so such big hits that there was a collaboration between the people in Taiwan and the TBS channel in Japan, and they made, I think it was pretty much shot in Taiwan. They made a 10-part TV series which aired in Japan on TBS. And that's what we're watching. We're watching the Japanese dubbed, no subtitles, unfortunately. Darren's making a face. I don't know what that face means, but it means something is up.
I only watched 3 episodes.
So the 3 things you watched is the whole 10-episode run.
That's good.
We watched.
Did you watch like 3.5 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you're
good. Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, because I had to, in order for these 2 gents to be able to see it, I had to rip the discs, and they came out. I mean, I legally found the way to. They fell off the back of a lorry off a disc, and then somehow found their way to you. Kelly.
I accidentally watched a repeat on my Japanese, the completely legal Japanese Netflix that I have.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I think they are on. I think they might be on Amazon Prime, at least in Japan. I think you can actually watch it. I don't know if you can watch them. You might be able. Sometimes Amazon's a bit odd like that. Or it used to be. I think they might have sorted out some of that territorial stuff. But I remember a few years ago, some things you'd just be able to watch anywhere, regardless of whether there were subtitles or languages or. But yeah, so they were released on across 3 DVDs here as well. And it's the further adventures of 1010 and Tombo and Chibi-Crow, as they're called here, and all
Suika, Atama, or whatever, like Melonhead, which is apparently our Chubby Bowlcut's name in this version.
Yes. Shadow Liu, of course, returns at 1010, and all the kids are the same as well, same kids, right?
Yeah,
it is the same kids. But the chronology is a bit confusing. It seems as though this takes place between the first and second film.
Yeah,
because
the fat one's still alive. Right?
Because Chubby Melonhead is not dead. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it feels.
But it also feels like they're not quite the same kids. I don't know. I know we watched it unsubtitled, but for me, it seemed to me that they were very slightly different characters.
Yes, because one of the kids as well has a widowed mother as well, right? In this,
which we didn't see before that,
and then whose husband goes up her nostrils to possess her at some point.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes, and that kid cries the entire 10 episodes. He sobs the whole time.
But also, the dad is still kicking about, although we don't see him very much. The not beardy dad.
Yes. So let's be honest. Up front, we don't really know what the fuck is going on.
No.
Not really.
No, but it's also broad enough that you do get the gist, I think.
Well, all this is all the films, it's the same thing, right? They recycle the thing. Every single episode they have to do the holding your breath thing. And some episodes are definitely better than others. Right? Like when we get into the back end and you get that green-faced vampire and the evil vampire and the little cauldron boy.
Yeah.
All that stuff's very Kung Fu Wonder child of kind of bonkers, right?
Yes. And it also has it does the TBS-ness of it all kind of shows up too, because it does feel a bit like Japanese, like the devil dude and like a Batman guy, like that stuff could easily be villains out of like Kamen Rider or something. To me, it kind of it feels of a piece.
Yeah, but also very, very Taiwanese. So I think the influence from Japan is just money in this.
Right. I think so. It's pretty minimal.
There seems to be very, very Taiwan heavy production.
Because, they would have been already popular enough, so I guess they figured, well, we don't need to fuck with the formula, really. Just let
exactly. And the production values are equal to anything in the films.
Agreed.
Definitely not to step.
If anything, I thought that, I mean, overall, I'll get ahead of the whole thing. I liked this quite a bit more than the last one of the like feature films we watched. I, for whatever reason, I got along with this quite well.
Oh, it's definitely if you like that, if you really like the Hello Dracula, regardless of whether you can understand it, if you can get yourself a copy, you should do so because but maybe one episode at a time rather than all 10 of them.
And binging it, yeah.
And the only part I think, because I don't think it's only behind the scenes seems to be like on the production. There are some Japanese names like involved in, some elements of but and also I noticed, so it's very difficult to find any information about this film online at all, right? And I'm pretty sure there's not much in like any books or anything either, right? But I think so. It seems to be directed by Chow Yun Man, I think, who had done the previous film and also made a film which we'll get to in next year's selection, the 3D Army, which is another one of these Taiwanese hopping vampire obscurities, which I think also might actually kind of be part of the Hello Dracula universe, maybe tangentially. But seems to be Georgie Ida, the guy who made like Battle Heater and Nighthead and Another Heaven. He's got a credit, but I don't know what he did. I don't know if he just, because very early on in his career, he'd only made like another film called Cyclops, like this obscure direct-to-video kind of gore film. So I don't know if he was just responsible for like directing the actors for the Japanese dub, or if he was some sort of AD or something. But his name is on it. I could find that. And Ulysses Au was a producer, I think. But other than that, I couldn't really find much in the way of credits. There's a, I think it's the third episode or something. This mustached hopping vampire turns up, and it's difficult to tell with the makeup, but I was pretty sure it's 99% sure it's not him. But I was like, is this Ren Osugi? Is this like Ren Osugi early in his career? Like is he? Did they fly him over to play a hopping vampire? But then I think that same actor turns up in the 8th episode as one of the fat cops underlings. So it's not. It's someone who looks a bit like Ren Osugi, and difficult to tell under the because there's no other Japanese actors. I think it would be weird that they would have just drafted in one. But yeah, so we should mention that as well. So across the 10 episodes, they do eventually get to all the tropes, right? So if you're missing, fat cop character,
yep,
don't worry.
He goes off the rails in this one, though. He's crucifying kids when we get to that arc, because I do feel like there's kind of 3 arcs in a way. Like there's kind of like, it's almost like they've made 3 films, right? The last kind of a bit longer, but basically that's the way it feels to me anyway.
Well, yeah, because the purple-faced villain fucking comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So if you watch them as I watched them in 3 chunks, 3 chunks.
They make sense. They make sense. Like
yeah. But the third chunk seems almost completely unrelated to what came before.
It's also the best one, right? The last.
It is absolutely
most batshit crazy.
Yeah, with the emphasis on bat.
Yeah. In fact, I was wondering. I mean, I couldn't find evidence of it, but I wouldn't be surprised if in some territory somewhere to kind of get back a little bit more cash, it would work if they edited those last 4 into a feature.
Yeah,
because there's enough other films out there that make no sense out of context. So
I mean, I'll be honest with what I thought, and I think that until you get to that 3rd section, I found production values are good, performances were good, choreography is as good as
nice bit of wire work.
Yeah. But the action and kind of the plot just seemed a little bit flat the first two bits, just didn't seem to have quite as much going on as the films. So the films, the first 3 films at least that we've seen are just fucking wall to wall, right? There's something going on at every fucking minute, and you need to pay attention. Whereas I found that the kind of the first 2 sections that I watched, so I suppose the first 6 to 7 episodes that would break down to, kind of treading water for me. Although I did quite like the addition of the new handsome vampire hunter, the new handsome Taoist.
Oh yeah.
And then the funny moustache Taoist, who's kind of in competition with him. So I quite like the little innovations, but I just think that as a film series, it kind of built on its kind of wall to wallness.
Yeah, it did get progressively better, right?
Yeah, but not necessarily better, but it kind of built. It was trying to one up itself with each installment, whereas this seemed, apart from the last section, this kind of seemed just to be kind of a steady sort of, not on a gradient, on a flat.
I can imagine it would have been quite good fun if you were a kid in 1988.
Hell yeah.
This came on totally every week.
Okay.
You would tune in, right? And I know I can just feel Nick.
I'm not going to say a word.
No. I know what you want to talk about. I know what you want to talk about.
We're not going to touch that with a crab or a fish.
Yeah, so we should mention.
We're going to talk about the carps now. Okay?
It's very neat. Yeah, well, we're going to talk about So if that's your jam, you should know that the very, very, very first episode has a crab hanging off a little boy's cock as he stands up in a river. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a stunt crab or
could be a stunt cock.
Yep.
No, I think it's a real little boy's cock.
Yeah, and it looks like a real crab too, so I'm not quite sure how it was all done, but it's quite disconcerting. Was not expecting to see it in a made for television, potentially made for kids. Yeah. Thank you, Taiwan and Japan.
Yeah, I suppose it's a cheap way to get your circumcision done.
Might be a bit ragged.
Yeah. Might need more than one snip as well. It's kind of yeah.
And then if you accidentally got Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob, he'd demand payment, wouldn't he?
Yeah, yes.
Money for the circumcision. Give me my money.
Voiced by the great Clancy Brown. But yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely. I think that they peaked early in terms of that's like the apart from the Cauldron Boy,
right?
Like that's
the most what the fuck.
Yeah,
that's the most what the fuck moment.
Yeah,
comes in the very first within the first 20 or 10 minutes of the show. You're like,
I did like the Cauldron Boy though. There's something very Miracle Fighters about this rolling.
Yeah.
Cauldron Boy.
Yeah,
he was pretty cool.
And I think didn't we have that in
I feel like
Hello Dracula 3.
I
think
so.
the last Hello Dracula that we reviewed, one of them turns into the Cauldron Boy, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you never have enough Cauldron Boy. I don't
Absolutely.
I would watch. He should have got his own spin-off series. Hello, Cauldron Boy. 1 to 6. I mean, I'd be all over that.
Yeah. Also, the other thing I really liked in this, and we're getting into the third section now, the other thing I really liked about this was the peg leg vampire.
Oh, yes.
So there's a vampire with a wooden leg.
Yep, pirate. Yeah, pirate. He in the Japanese dub, he's called like pirate vampire, basically.
Oh, because I don't speak any Japanese. All of this.
Yeah, they call him Kaizoku Kyonshi, which is pirate vampire. And he's got the whole like Long John Silver beard, I think, as well as the peg leg. So,
he reminded me of Graham Chapman in Yellowbeard.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something I noticed actually when I thought back, because they really lean into it in this one, but then I realized it's very much a part of all of them, right back to the first one, it's that George A. Romero thing of like people can't accept that the person you loved when they were alive now wishes you dead. And like this, like it's very much a part of, from Night of the Living Dead on in his films. But yeah, really they lean into it hard here because people are constantly trying to reason with or fight for people who just want nothing other than to fucking kill them. But they're their dad.
There's plenty of little child trauma as well, and burning fathers, and
yes, that's the first. Yeah, the end of the very first arc. Yeah, ends with cool new dad priest burning old dad alive. Well, undead, I guess. Okay, this is the thing. So when I was watching this, I started to think about all these.
Those of you at home who've been waiting for the thing, here.
So when I was growing up, and actually even now, I've had a recurring dream where in my dream,
did you turn into a cauldron?
I did, yes, I did indeed. But no,
was there perhaps a crab on your knob?
Yes, that wasn't a dream though. That wasn't a dream. I live on a very crabby island. No, so I used to have this dream that I discovered by accident that I used to be a child star. Like either I find like a box of videotapes, or I'm like, what the fuck is this? I was like, and at the age of like 2 or 3 or 4, and I have no memories of this whatsoever. But then, as I dig in, I find like magazine things. And then I have this great sense
with a crab hanging off the end of your tape.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel this great sense of loss of like, oh shit, like I used to be famous and I didn't even know that I was famous. I was important. I was loved, and it's all gone now. It's all lost to the sands of time. But I did wonder about these kids who did these kind of things. Like, do they have? If you are in fucking Jerry Maguire and you're 4 years old or whatever, do you have any memories of hanging out with Tom Cruise or, I don't know. You ever think about?
You kind of imagine. I remember stuff from when I was 4.
I guess. I don't know.
You'd
I feel like before I was 7.
Well, I don't think Nick's actually trying to suggest that he was in fact a superstar when he was a child.
I was not, because I think I probably would know.
Right.
But yeah.
I would remember if you were the poster boy for Pedo Guy and Smith novelizations based on the first episode of.
Right.
There we go. That's the one he never wrote, right? I guess because he didn't have those proclivities. That's what we should have had.
Yes, crab cock pinchers. Crabs the cock pinching. There we go.
Yeah. Night of the Crabs, the junior edition, but it's just little boys being attacked by crabs.
That's very niche market, I suspect.
My Kindle is now on sale at a very reasonable $5.
So we should say that there is a baby Kyanshi is back again, and I think it's pretty much the same.
Of course they gotta have.
It looks like the same kid, doesn't it?
Yeah, and he's used like fucking like the Due Ek Machina more than anything. Like everything's going wrong for he shows up to pull everyone's fat out of the fucking corner.
Well, especially like the kid that gets bitten, who's the same kid whose dad gets bitten. If I remember right.
Yes.
At the end of the second section, he just turns up and just does some ET magic on his neck, and then he's fine. But then he vamps out again later on, so it's obviously temporary. But that's obviously the end of an episode, isn't it? Or the start of an episode where everything resolves itself.
I did notice that the kids are completely fine with drugging Grandpa Gold at one point because they want to go out and make some money or something like that, and he's again it. So they just like
we kind of knew
Bill Cosby him.
Well, we knew that already because they are dodgy as we know the kids are dodgy as fuck. We know that.
And there's one episode they couldn't resist turning 1010 into an object of lust like they always do. Right? There's one section there where. Is it the fat kid gets possessed or something, and he runs around after her, more or less naked, rubbing himself, and she has to run away from him. Like, they couldn't help themselves. They had to go there.
That poor kid really is a kind of an MVP for just putting up with shit. There's the part where he's like naked and trying to take a shit, and baby Kionshi starts tickling his asshole. I was fucking hell. This poor kid.
That was a bit. Yeah. Well,
both of them
kid?
really.
I mean, it wasn't fun for the little kid. It was all little vampire. Yeah.
If you were affected by issues in this program tonight, please call the number below.
Yes, the class action lawsuit against the Mr. Vampire film.
If you'd like to talk to other Kyonshis your age, go to 0898. Hop.
Awesome.
Operatives are standing by.
There we go.
Nice. There's also
Darren will go to bed content tonight.
Chubby Cop does this outrageous thing because there's the woman who shows up with the dogs. That whole weird thing where actually I quite like that scene where it seemed as though 1010's like, we need to kill this puppy, and then all the boys are like, they're really struggling with it. She's like, oh, for fuck's sake, you wimps. And it seems for a moment that she has actually killed the dog, and I was like, oh my god, wow. And then it doesn't have the courage of his convictions that she hasn't killed the dog.
But it's done this to us before, hasn't it? It's the film has done this to us before. The first one, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, it's Chubby Cop, his interactions with that woman, his whole like, yes, madame, which he keeps doing in English.
Oh yeah, this madame stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is bizarre.
Yeah. So anyway, so then the bat vamp, the purple bat vampire man.
Yes.
Is he a vampire or is he just a Taoist? I think he's a vampire, isn't he? But he makes a vampire. He makes a green vampire.
Yeah.
With a bat skeleton.
Yes.
And he makes it a different color, so I suppose it's the differentiate from him.
Yeah. And he's bat coded so much so that he uses like the Tim Burton Batman logo.
Yes.
All of his like stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's got his brand down, hasn't he?
Oh yeah. And it was probably 1988, and Batman. Oh, actually, hang on. When did Batman come out? 89?
89, actually. Yeah. So
there we go. Clearly, Batman ripped off Rai Kyonshis, I think is what we're saying.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
The evidence speaks for itself.
Yes.
So Pirate Kyonshi is actually in that last section as well. And so there's that part where the kids are being really shitty to him and using Taoist magic to make him into like a wooden man so they can like fight with him and stuff. There's like a whole bunch of mean pranks they do.
Well, they also back to the fat kid as well. They also do that with him as well at one point. Because doesn't he also turn into a vampire in one episode? But I don't know if he stays a vampire.
No, that's the other kid. That's
right. Okay.
Yeah.
And what the fuck is it? So in that last section, there's the part where like I've written down here, I don't know what the hell, a green gale off of Coronation Street. Jyangshi shows up and attacks the Chubby Cop and has visions of him as a capering rabbit. Do you remember this?
Yeah, because there's.
I think this is when your edibles kicked in, Nick.
Possibly.
No, but there's these like 1980s looking demon girl things that the purple vampire man summons.
Mm-hmm.
And that's who they fight at the end, isn't it?
Right.
So they fight him and like
Chubby Cop he's in a like a rabbit costume, right? Like jumping around.
Yeah.
I can't remember what Gale from Coronation Street looks like. That's the thing.
Kind of like a turtle.
Yes. Kind of a winsome turtle. She If
you remember the end of what was that sitcom called? 1 Foot in the Grave, where it had the tortoise walking around.
Oh yeah.
That's what she looks like.
Mm.
Hang on. There was a character, a human, who looked like the big tortoise in the credits to 1 Foot in the Grave in the cast of Coronation Street.
Yes, pretty much.
Do you know what? I don't believe you. Either of you.
She's also in. I'll send you a picture. She was also in a 19. She's in one of John Pertwee's Doctor Who serials as well.
Is she?
Quite an early role, yeah.
Okay.
And she had a shell and everything.
No. Oh, another thing that comes in just its last section, we get a lot more kind of sort of shitty video editing, like things flipping and like just like really bad choices with like somebody's gotten a new whatever the state of the art 1988 software was for
like an Amiga. They edited it, they ran out of cash, so they just used a Commodore Amiga 5000 or whatever they were called.
Okay, I think that's a good place to leave it with Darren having made up a computer that didn't exist. I think the Commodore Amiga 5000.
There was a Commodore Amiga.
How the memories come flooding back.
There was a Commodore Amiga and a large number. It might not have been 5,000, it might have been 4,000, possibly 2,000. But I'm gonna stand. Please comment. Please comment on this video what the number of the Commodore Amiga was.
Yes, and if it's a Commodore Amiga 5000, I'll eat one like Werner Herzog did his shoe. Actually, I won't. No, because
no, you attach a crab to your cock, Clive. Live here next time we're on. That should be easy to do in Japan. I'm sure you can find a crab at your local, or whichever.
Both, yes.
No one wants to see that. No one wants to see that.
No. What kind of apology would that be? That would just be doubling down. Anyway, I hope this has been as much fun to watch as it was to record. I had a blast doing this, lads.
Yeah.
Because this was a brilliant idea, because of course it was mine. So thanks entirely to me. and you too a little bit, I suppose, for contributing. And we'll be back next year. We'll be, because we found that there was more hopping vampires out there than we could possibly imagine. So we'll be doing another 30 or so hopping vampire for every day of October run next year. So there you are.
Do you know, Clive, what is the most recent? Like, I mean, are they still...
Well, that's the thing. I'm wondering if between now and then, if we might, because there's been something at least in the last like year or two, but they're mainland Chinese productions now, right?
Okay.
And some of them are a bit difficult to, like, some of them might just have the same title, but they might not actually be hopping vampire films, or I'm not quite sure, but let me get back to you.
It is the Halloween season right now, and I'm overhearing my Chinese students talking to each other, and the word Jyangshi comes up quite a bit, actually.
Cool.
And so they're very much aware, like kids who are 6 and 7, very much aware of this thing. And I've made jokes and jumped around, and they know what I'm doing. It's like, so obviously it still is in the culture.
But they did call the police when you got that crab out from your desk. So
you mustn't put crabs on kids' penises.
Yeah, not again.
Mustn't do that.
Not again.
Yeah, you know better. You know better after the last incident.
Yeah, neither the big ones nor the little tiny ones, because you were responsible for those as well. On that note, I think, right.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Indeed.
See you next year.
Bye-bye.
Leave them kids alone.